and welcome back to another episode of For the Lads. And I'm with my longtime friend here, George Ross, over the other side of the world. Longtime fans of the Resident Evil franchise. So we're going to do a bit of a deep dive and basically shoot the shit and have a bit of a conversation about probably mine and George's all-time favorite gaming franchise. Um, this is an episode I was planning to do with George right near the beginning of this channel, but we've only just sort of gotten around to making it happen. So I know that you're a long time gamer and you're an avid lover of this franchise. I'm pretty sure that this is how we ended up becoming friends, right? If I remember
Yeah,
correctly. I met you through one of the forums or something. I can't. It's just been so
I
long,
think
but I'm
it's.
pretty sure.
I think it was. I think it's. Was it YouTube?
I don't know,
Watching
man.
YouTube. I can't remember to
I
be
can't
honest, but it
either.
was
But
game related.
and I'm pretty sure specifically Resident Evil because we held a lot of the very same opinions on the franchise.
Yeah.
But we're
So
gonna.
if it wasn't for Resident Evil,
That's
me and
it,
you wouldn't
brother.
know
We
each
wouldn't
other.
know each other. That's it. So yeah, we'll jump straight in. We'll jump straight into the original Resident Evil. I believe it was 1996, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
Early PS1 days. Uh, I did play this before too, but to be fair, because I was pretty young when this came out, and I didn't have a PS1 when this came out, so I more replayed this more after too. But we'll get into this game and we'll have a chat about it. And so, how did you first come about Resident Evil One?
Well, Resident Evil. I played one barely when it first came out because I didn't have a PS1. I played it at my big brother's friend's house, and he had it, but I didn't understand it, and I did like it. I wanted to, play it more, but they kind of hot it,
Mm.
barely touch control. However, after I played two, so what happened is I got two in '98, and then immediately I said, you know what, I gotta play the first one too,
Yeah.
and I did it in '98. And when I first played it, because RE2 was, of course, it was improved. It
Mm.
was basically RE1 but improved in the RPD. I was like a little disappointed, thinking it was going to be like two. But then I said I'm the type that I would play a game until I beat it.
Mm.
So I'm not one of those that gives up. I know, like the modern generation,
Mm.
and I beat it and I couldn't stop playing it. I beat it maybe like three times. I rented it two times back to back
Mm.
just so I could beat it, and then I kept playing it until I beat it over and over. I thought it was pretty sweet. I remember back then uh, there was nothing like it. It was
Mm.
kind of weird though because it had pre-rendered backgrounds.
Mm.
The first time, I will say this, the first time I seen it was in magazines. I don't know if you remember what Game Pro was. I don't know if you
Yeah.
have it over there in
Yeah.
Australia.
Yeah. We had it here.
Yeah, I was looking at it. I'm like, I thought it was like, this looks impossible to play. Like, how
Mm.
do I move my character? Because back then I didn't have idea of it.
Mm.
It kind of reminded me. I thought it was a game like I don't know if you remember. I forgot the name of the game, but it's like a artwork. It looks like a comic book almost. I think it was Dragon Slayer.
Well,
I don't remember.
the original Resident Evil is kind of actually supposedly a remake of an older game. Um, I never
Sweet
played
Home.
it. That's the one. That's the one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
So
played it.
yeah, what did you think? Is there
I
any
haven't got that
similarity?
far in it,
Yeah.
but it does feel like it because it's basically Resident Evil 8-bit.
Mm.
You're walking.
Resident Evil
There's
8.
Yeah, it's like an open
Yeah.
mansion.
Yeah.
Everything's open to you, but you just got to uh, find all the keys to unlock places.
Mm.
It's been a while since I played it though. I
Mm.
played it probably like 10 years ago, and I can't remember much. I need to beat that. I need to get around and go back to it. I probably played it like 2 hours, 3 hours.
Mm.
And it is harder though. I think that one's harder because it's less. It's the NES. Those games they're a
Yeah,
little more
they're not forgiving.
complex.
Mm.
Yeah. you need like a guide to play those.
Yeah, for me, like I said, I do remember playing it. I played it more after the second one, which we'll touch on soon. I remember beating it as a kid, but then I remember it was years since I had played it, and in that time I'd obviously played the remake of the first one and beat it a whole heap of times. And then I'm like, you know what? Let's go back and play the original one, the director's cut, and it really blew me away. I was surprised at how good it actually was. It was better than I remembered. Maybe because the same reason, like you said, you're comparing it to Resident Evil 2.
Yeah,
But it did hold up. It held up well. It's a good game, very cheesy, very George A. Romero-esque, which is what they were going for, supposedly. Um, yeah, it's a great game. Great way to kick off a franchise. Um, But yeah, any other you want to touch on
yeah.
some other? Oh, the Hunter. I was going to mention.
Oh,
I
the
remember. Yeah,
classic.
yeah,
When he jumps in,
yeah.
when he
Actually,
halfway through the game, when
yeah,
the
you see.
cutscene.
Yeah, that the cutscene when you see through like the Hunter's eyes. Yeah, I remember actually seeing that for the first time, and it would have been like 10 or 11 or something, and then just being
Yep,
blown away. I'm like, whoa, what the fuck is this thing
that
coming,
shit
man?
was kind of scary.
Yeah, definitely, man. Yeah, yeah.
And I was gonna say, you said it was influenced by George Romero, and I agree with you
Mm.
because they have. I don't know if you've seen the movie Day of the Dead.
Yes, I have.
Okay, if you go watch that movie or go on YouTube, check out the music from that movie, the
Mm.
soundtrack. It basically sounds like Resident Evil 1's, like the soft music
Mm.
and even some of the creepy music.
That's
Sounds just
that's
like
the one
something
that
out of Resident Evil 1.
they start off in the chopper and stuff like that, and then they
It's
go in
been a
the
while.
underground
They're
bunker in
under.
the army
Yeah,
base.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Yep,
yeah, great
that's it.
movie. The guy, how like they're all army guys and that, and then you have that one guy that gets ripped in half and they pull all of
Yep,
his guts out and that.
classic.
When they remade that movie by the guy that did 300 and all that, I can't remember his name. Um, that the guy who was one of the main guys in the remake was actually in that first movie. He was one of the guys that was already in the mall.
Oh, okay. Wait, the mall or
Sorry. Yeah, it wasn't a remake. It was the remake of Dawn of the Dead. But
yes,
he
yes.
was in Day of the Dead. He was
Yep.
also in that the remake of Dawn of the Dead. You know how there's three guys that are in the mall, and
The preacher.
there's like three guys that worked in the mall, right? And then you've got
Yeah,
like
the security guards.
the security guards. The main guy out of the three. He's the guy that gets ripped in half and gets all of his guts
Yeah.
pulled out in that movie. It's the same guy.
I'm gonna have to check that out. It's been a
Yeah.
while since
I
I
I was
watched that.
shocked when I found out. I was like, but he looks way too young to be the same guy. But yeah, it's the same guy.
Damn.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, but there is also, you're right about that. There is another cameo. That remember the preacher in the remake?
Yeah.
He's the black
The
dude
black guy,
from
yeah.
the original
Mm.
Dawn of the Dead too.
Mm.
That's classic.
Well, I mean, these games are, like I said, as far as I've heard, and they definitely feel like it, that they were inspired by George A. Romero. So, um, yeah, it's good to touch on that. But I thought I'd move on to Resident Evil 1.5. Have you ever had a chance
Yeah,
to play much of that?
I haven't played it. Shit, I should because I got PC. I'm pretty sure I could find a download for it.
Hmm.
But I remember seeing clips of it. Elza Walker, remember that
Yeah.
character?
Yeah.
I forgot who was the other guy. Was it still Leon?
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, it was Leon, and then the Elza Walker. She was in like a motorbike costume or some
Yeah,
shit, but like a road bike one, not a Harley one. Like
they
clear.
should bring them back. Make her another character in the new ones. That would be sick. Imagine like a new generation
Like a
of
nod.
Resident Evil characters.
Yeah.
You should bring her back. I haven't played that one. I have seen a lot of clips. I actually think it looked kind of. It
Look
looked more
janky.
modern.
Yeah.
It did, but I still wouldn't have minded. I would have probably liked it.
I
The Go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say I'd definitely like to try it out. Um, and definitely better than some of the other ones in the franchise,
Yeah.
even in its janky state.
Yeah, you know what's cool about that one though? It looked like the RPD looked more modern, like a
Mm.
normal looking police station.
Yeah,
I like the one that they have in the like full version. Still, it looks like classic,
I think.
but we have an art gallery before it was a police station.
Yeah, I think it could end up being kind of bland though, and you could probably all the levels could maybe start looking similar
Yeah,
because of that. Again, I can't really say because I haven't played it. I definitely want to check it out. I'm pretty sure you can buy it on fucking eBay these days. So yeah, man,
I
like
think
a
it's free,
PS1
man.
copy. So I might get that because I don't have a like I got my Mac, but I don't really have anything set up for gaming. So.
It was very blue looking. I remember it was a
Mm.
blue looking game. The clips, the scenes. But yeah, I
Apparently,
will try that.
they were running on the same architecture. If I remember correctly, they were running on the same architecture as they did for the first game, but they were trying to
Yeah,
push more zombies, so they had to downgrade the graphics to add more characters on screen, and
that
that
would
was
not been
yeah,
good.
no, not really.
I think
Um,
they should always go forward.
yeah, so well, that's why they scrapped the whole game when it was like 80% complete and restarted from scratch. And I'm glad they did because that game, Resident Evil 2, probably, well, I would say this and another game which we'll get around to later, my tied favorite games of the franchise. If I had to pick, I'd probably maybe give it this, maybe still give it to this one. I think that like when you pick, if whenever anyone asks me what's my all-time favorite game, I pick this one because you got to factor in like what was around in that era. You know, you've got to kind of
Yeah,
compare it. Like it's easier to like look at other things that come out in the like later in the future because they got to stand on the shoulders of things that come before it. But this game was so revolutionary, and I'll admit it made me a little bit scared when the first few times I had to play it because I'd play it at a friend of mine, and he lived just down the road from me. He was a few years older than me, but we'd be playing it all night, and then I'd have to walk home in at night in the dark, fucking
you're
like
talking about
looking.
two, right?
Yeah, Resident Evil 2. I'm like
Oh,
looking
okay.
around
I
for
have a lot of.
fucking dogs and zombies, you know.
Yup.
Yeah, man. This one is really the one that kicked it off for me. So, and yeah, how do you feel about Resident Evil 2?
So
How did you get into this one?
okay, so when I got that one, at the time I was living with my big brother, and like he was living at our house. My mom and my three brothers and one sister. We all lived together, and my big brother, he had a PlayStation One. He lived there with his wife. So it's weird. We had a two-story house, and there was a like a backyard, and it led to their house, which is a one-story house. So it was like two houses connected. He lived in that house, and he had PlayStation One, and I'd go there almost every day. I couldn't stop because he got. So what happened is I rented Resident Evil 2, and I took it to go play at his house,
Yeah.
and I hadn't I hadn't really sat down with the first one at the time. This is in '98, and that shit was damn scary. It
Hmm.
was like this is a cool thing. I got my own PlayStation One during the time I was renting Resident Evil 2. So I was playing with it at his house, Resident Evil 2, and I ended up beating it,
Hmm.
but I still had it. And then at the time, my mom she bought me a PlayStation One, and so I put the
Nice.
PlayStation One in my room, and I was playing Resident Evil 2,
Hmm.
and that was the first time I got to like experience like a horror game,
Hmm.
by myself. At the time, '98, I was 12 years old, man.
Hmm.
So I actually thought that because Resident Evil 2, the story is very plausible. It feels kind of like realistic,
Hmm.
like, rats and crows spreading a disease and a virus. Later on in the series, it's kind of fake. Like you
It
got,
gets ridiculous, and we will
yeah,
get to that. But
yeah, the
it,
viruses don't pop out of you; they're still in you, so it
mm,
seems realistic. Like on two,
it is a
and the
lot more grounded
rats,
compared to some of the
yeah.
other ones.
So I felt like that could happen. And when I was little, I thought, you know what, that's going to happen.
Mm.
I literally thought that that was bound to happen. So let's say I was a little kid, so I would think, let's say when my one of my family members would leave and they wouldn't, at the time we didn't have cell phones, so I think, oh, what if the zombies got them? That's how I thought. That's crazy, huh? But it's funny though, even though the game was freaking me out like that, like when I'm playing the game, I wasn't really freaked out. It was like thinking about if that really happened that was freaking me out.
Mm.
So I wasn't scared really of the game. I was scared thinking that things like that could happen.
Yeah.
It made me think more. So yeah, that was a pretty cool experience. I think two, the reason I think two is it's my all-time favorite is because it's the first one I played, and also just it's the one that I memorized fully. I could actually speed run that game because I played it so much.
Mm.
And yeah, just the story and the setting and the characters, they don't seem fake.
Mm.
One I still love two, but two is like a better version of one in my opinion. I even like two better than the remake of two and
Mm.
or the remakes of any of them. You
Mm.
know how Resident Evil One remake, everyone says that's great. I
Mm.
still think 298 is the best one.
This is
I
the
like the monster
number one
too.
in the franchise for you.
Yeah, nothing tops it. Still
It's
doesn't. I could still play that.
it's the thing that I really love about the franchise as well. Like when I say the franchise, I mean the real Resident Evil games, is the
Yeah.
replayability. Like they're
Yup.
so fun to replay.
Two disc. Two
Yeah,
disc.
they're so fun to replay and then speed run them and unlock the infinity ammo guns and
Oh yeah. I
run into Mr. X for the first time. You're like, whoa, what the fuck?
yeah.
Like when you're doing your
When you
A/B
play.
scenarios and
Yup.
like, and I don't want to get too much into the remakes because we'll get there, but like the scenarios in the older games, they're a lot more uh, broad
Different.
in a lot different compared to like in the new ones. You really got a different scenario. There was crossover as well. If you're greedy in one run, you leave yourself nothing for the next
Yup.
scenario.
They didn't.
Just
They didn't do that on the new one.
yeah,
I
it's
was disappointed in that. That I'm so glad that like the first time I played it with the AB scenario, that was kind of weird. Like I didn't really I understood it, but it was like, dang, games have never done this.
mm,
That's another thing that made me like amazed at the time. This is like futuristic technology.
mm. That the vibe as well. Like they've never been able to recapture it. From two and on a smaller
Yeah.
part three as well. Um, just that creepiness vibe and the
Yep.
soundtracks and the
The sound
atmosphere,
design.
the sound design, the atmosphere, everything about them original ones. As much as the RE1, the RE2 and 3 remakes are good, they don't capture that same atmosphere and tenseness. Like there's always
Yeah.
something that's gonna jump out like any moment around the corner, and this is what I love about the tank controls and the camera angles. The cameras, they're positioned in a way where it feels like the camera is something that is looking at you from
Yeah.
underneath a cupboard or from around a corner or and
Yeah.
then at the same time it works into exactly what happens, because that is what happens, because you can't see what's around the corner and then bang, something's on top of you. So you got
Yeah.
to play, even though these things are things that newer fans criticize, and everyone's entitled to their own opinion.
I
These are
don't
the
think
these are the things that actually make these games work as well as they did. I mean, the technical limitations is part of what makes them great. It's the same as if you look at like Jaws, the movie, right? Jaws works so well because you don't have the shark stuck in your face all the time. There's a build up to it. Like they wanted to use that shark a lot more than what they did, and it was the limitations that made that movie so great. It made you had to innovate, and and that in a
Yep.
roundabout way, that's kind of what makes these games so great as well, for the reasons that I just touched on. What do you reckon?
I was gonna say also going back to the sound design, even though the Resident Evil 2 remake, I love the game. I even love the remake.
Mm,
I played it a lot, but I will say there's the zombies sounds on the original '98 one
far better.
sound way creepier.
Mm,
They moan. The other
mm,
ones make like snarling sounds, which I don't find
mm.
that scary. You know the part where you're inside the RPD, you are on a railing outside. There's like a green herb there. It's like a staircase outside on the side of RPD, and you could hear zombies moaning.
Yes, I was thinking the same thing.
That shit's creepy.
Yeah.
I don't know how the hell they perfected that.
Mm,
That sound design, you can't get it on the new ones.
mm,
And the music also
mm,
is way better. Like on RE2, the music, some of it is a similar.
mm,
It would have been better if the music just played nonstop, but
mm,
they have it set where they play it for like a quick 30-second little clip of a song and then it's completely silent. I don't know why they did that. So the sound designer of the original '98 one is he perfected it.
fuck yeah.
And I think the zombie, even in we're going to talk about it in a minute. 3 also has
Mm,
similar moaning effects, and like because on 2 you could hear like the zombies moaning in the distance.
yeah.
As a kid, that creeped me out.
Yeah, you're going outside, like you said, to go up the ladders, and you hear
Yeah,
that, "Ooh,"
yeah,
and then like
yep.
the
You
the
have to be
music.
there.
Yeah, you're just like fuck. There's,
It sucks that
and
kids these days will never experience that
yeah.
really,
Well,
unless
I
they
mean,
try it. But it's
there's a lot of things
not
they're
gonna.
not going to get to experience, unfortunately. But lucky for us, I think we caught the end of the
Yeah, I'm
best
so lucky.
generation. Yeah. We're like older millennials, so I think we caught
Yeah,
the end of the good era. But
the good old days.
yeah, I think yeah. To reiterate, I think for me personally, it's my all-time favorite game. If anyone ever asks me, I always say Resident Evil 2 from PS1. Uh, the remake again, which we will touch on, is a great game and was better than I expected because when I heard it was going to be over the shoulder, my expectations was low. But the vibe and the tenseness and atmosphere and like it doesn't touch it. The Resident Evil 2, obviously them scrapping it and then rebooting it, it really it shows and it stands out because they obviously spent some time to perfect that before they released it, and it would have been worth it because that would have been a big gamble for Capcom,
Yeah,
being 80% deep in a game and going, you know what, we're going to scrap this whole game and restart. There would have been a lot of people that would have pushed back against that and wouldn't have been down for that. So for them to take that risk, it fucking paid off big time because that game, you know what I mean?
yeah, because
Yeah,
that would have they lost money probably redoing the game, but they made it back way more.
big time.
So
Because it's not even like they could have reused the assets because they used a whole different architecture. Because the architecture they used for the 1.5 is the same as the first one, where they used different stuff. I don't know the full ins and outs of it, but
I was gonna say one thing though. I played, of course, a PS1 version of 2
mm,
first. I barely played the N64 one. I really can't say anything, but I will say to me the definitive version of 2 on a console. I'm pretty sure now you could play on PS5 and it's really good. And also PC, they got it on GOG, Good
mm.
Old Games. But the best version on console, like during the time when the game was popular, was the Dreamcast version.
Resident Evil
It-
2. True, it was.
yeah,
I didn't even realize.
I love the Dreamcast version. Like it was like playing another game, like the same game, just it looked way more enhanced.
Yeah.
And you'd have to play it to see what I mean. Like it was sharp,
Mm.
very nice. You can make out every little detail on the characters. Unlike the PS1, was still had the PS1 effects, but it's a good. Both are good.
Yeah, I never got the Dreamcast. I will mention as well, you know how I went away not too long ago to see my
Yeah,
partner's family and that. I actually played Resident Evil 2 because I brought
good.
I brought my I brought my wife's brother a PS5, and I gave him all my games because I don't play them anyway. I don't have time. But I downloaded Resident Evil 2, and I
Good.
banged through just the A scenario for Leon and Claire. Just speed run them. I did them like in, I don't know, like 2.5 hours or something. Because it's been a little while since I played it, but
Yeah. It's
still
been a while since I played it
still
too.
loved it. Yeah, only a couple of times I had to like, look at the map and rack my brain for a second. But
You know what?
what's that, brother?
One thing I will say this that's a funny thing is I have a hard time not because I can't. I know how to speed run the original Resident Evil games.
Mm.
I just don't like doing that
Mm.
because I like to experience the game.
Mm.
So I take my time. I don't even
Fair.
think about the clock. I
Mm.
just do it like a few
You want
times. I
to
remember
enjoy
when
it.
I was younger, and I love the backtracking on it. They don't have that on any of the newer RE
Mm.
games. So I wish they bring that style of gameplay back.
For me, it was more just because I'm in a house full of other people that want to use a PS5, and family that want to actually interact with us. So when I got a chance, you know what I mean, I smashed it
Yeah.
out. But we'll move on to the third Resident Evil game. Uh, I'll let you start. You give me your opinions on it, what you
Okay,
think.
so in '99, I remember at the time I was a young kid. I think I was 13. Yeah, I was 13 years old. I remember my mom. She'd always let me rent games. Back in the day, Blockbuster. Um, I don't know. You know what Blockbuster? Do you guys
Yeah,
have
we had
Blockbuster?
we had Blockbuster here.
Okay, so anyways,
We
Blockbuster.
we
It
actually
was
had one of the last ones in the world, not far from you.
badass. I miss those, but you know what? Like I got so many games nowadays. I can't even beat them all. So renting would make no sense. I have every game I want right
Yeah.
now. So right now, no, back in '99, I walked to Blockbuster with my mom, and she said, "Hey, you could get a game." This is back in the day when I was like walking. We were on foot. We walked far. It was a pretty far walk.
Mm.
Um, she rented me Resident Evil 3. I was already experienced with Resident Evil, so I knew it was going to be a good, good game. I remember back then they had like just the packaging too. You'd get the manual and stuff. The manual even had in the back it said Fighter's Edge. I don't know if you remember what Fighter's Edge was in the '90s.
I don't think I ever
It,
played that. No.
yeah, and it just adds for games. It had the I even think they gave me the Dino Crisis demo
Yeah, I did.
car
I do remember that
CD.
one.
Yeah, it came with when I rented it. I got the Dino Crisis CD plus the Resident Evil 3 CD. So I imagine a 13-year-old kid that loves Resident Evil games
Yeah.
and coming home with the new Dino Crisis, which is basically Resident Evil with dinosaurs and Resident Evil 3.
Yeah.
So I had a lot of fun. But Resident Evil 3, I love the game. That probably is it's crazy. I got so good on that game. I could speed run that game. I sped run it 8 times in one day once just to there was no reason. I just wanted all the endings, the clips.
Mm.
There's well not endings, it just shows like a picture of like one of the characters, Barry Burton, Chris Redfield, all that.
Mm.
Um I was disappointed with the length of the game, but I did like the dodge mechanic was I got good with that. It was now looking back, it felt more like Resident Evil 2 DLC,
Mm.
which I'm fine with, but it would have made more sense if they would have just packed them together because there was a lot of revisiting the RPD.
Yeah. Look, I think because originally I think they were looking to wrap up the franchise there with that, and or at least wrap up Jill's story, and obviously they blow up Raccoon City.
Yeah, the nuke.
Yeah, and with I think the third one is far superior compared to the remake. Again, we're going to
It
touch on the
is.
remakes, but we'll get to the remakes. But I think the
It
third,
has more
I think,
stuff.
yeah, I think the remake is more of a DLC. I think the original, the original one is long enough for a PS1 game. It's long enough, and it's harder than the second one.
You know
Um,
why? You know what's crazy? I actually think RE3 is for me the easiest.
hmm?
because I played the shit out of it. I think that's why. I think I even I had RE2. I played the shit out of that too. But
Mm,
RE3, I got to the point where at the end of the game, I have everything, all like tons of herbs, tons of ammo. They give you the ammo mixing chemicals
mm.
and stuff, the gunpowder. So I think it starts off harder
Mm.
than any of the other Resident Evil games, but then it gets by the end, if you conserve your stuff, well, it's easier.
It's a few things though. So it's uh the puzzles and stuff. The puzzles are
Oh
harder in
yeah,
the in number
I'll
three.
agree there.
The
The
puzzles in
water
number
draining
yeah.
puzzle.
I remember fucking and like I played it back in the day. You know, like it's not like now
Yeah.
where you just if you're stuck on something, whoosh, you can flip your phone
Yep.
out, YouTube video,
Yep.
figure it out in 2 seconds. You know, back in the
I have
'90s, I didn't have the internet at home. You know, like
same.
if you didn't, you had to work it out. You know,
Yeah.
they could take ages. You know, especially
Yep.
for a kid. And then obviously the nemesis, because Mr. X, he's good, and like he chases you around a bit in the second one, but like the nemesis is just he just feels like he's on your ass the whole time.
You want to know? You might not disagree, and you might not agree with me here, but I actually don't like Mr. X or Nemesis as characters. I
No,
just they're the design. I don't really like him.
yeah,
I still prefer Tyrant, the original Tyrant, because he looks more like a crazy looking.
mm.
Uh, the reason I didn't, I'll be honest, I've never been a fan of Nemesis.
No,
I've
you didn't like
always,
him.
yeah, I don't know. I just don't like the. He seemed like when the characters and the monsters were getting sentient, like they were starting to have a mind of their own,
Mm.
and
You
I
feel
didn't
like he
find
was
that
a step
scary.
back.
Yeah, just even Mr. X, I'm like, why does he have a coat on? That
Mm.
was what I thought of at the time. I never really thought he was creepy, but I still think the game, like, he was still good for gameplay. Yeah, he was
Mm.
good, and I actually did enjoy fighting Nemesis and to get the gun. I think it wasn't it the what gun was it? The Magnum parts,
Mm.
or just parts in general,
When you
shotgun
shoot him
parts.
and he drops things.
Yep, I like
Yeah.
fighting him in front of the clock tower
Mm.
with the electricity. That was pretty classic.
Yeah, like I liked Nemesis. I really liked the original. Um, yeah, look, I think overall it was a good game. It was slightly a little bit more action compared to the second one, but not enough for it to be noticeable. It
Yeah,
still was horror. It's still like you're playing a continuation of Resident Evil 2. Maybe a poor analogy, but maybe like when you watch the Karate Kid movies, right? It feels
yeah,
like it's a continuation of one big long
yeah.
movie. Like
It
from
still
second to
felt
third
like,
one, it feels like that. Like it's the
yeah,
same game, but it's just like a continuation. So um, I hold all them all them Resident Evils I hold in high
yeah.
regard.
The first three are still the best. I still think to this day, even three, as much as I'm not like. Oh, I was gonna ask you, what are your okay out of 1 to 10? What are your ratings for each of the three?
Well, I mean, like if 10 out of 10 is
Yeah.
solid, well, I mean, I give 10 to Resident Evil 2.
Yep.
Um, well, that's hard. Maybe 1 and 3 I'd give an 8. Because 1's
I'd
pretty good,
say
man. Well, I even though
yeah.
3 looks better and it's better made game, like it's pretty good. Yeah.
I'll say number one. That's that's an 8. I'll say that. Number two, 10.
Mm.
Come on, that's number seven. I mean, not number three.
Is
I gotta give it a 7,
yeah.
mainly because not because I didn't like it. I love the game still. It's a little shorter than two, and I wanted it to just continue off two's design.
Mm.
I wish it would have had multiple scenarios, even if it was just one more scenario instead of four.
Mm.
Um, and don't get me wrong, though, I played all three of those games like all crazy.
I
Unlocked
remember
everything.
as a kid as well. I used to think, "Fuck, Jill's banging hot," which
Hell
is
yeah.
hilarious. Like looking back now,
Yep.
you know, like animated PS1 game. But I remember thinking,
She's
"Damn,
like
man."
80 years old now in the story. Nah, nah, not that bad, but
Yeah.
yeah.
So with the remakes, Resident Evil One remake.
I think that one's that one, as much as like I love it, I love two. I still love two a little more, but I gotta go. I'm gonna give it a 10 also. The
Mm,
remake, I think the remake is I think the remake is a better survival horror game than even two,
mm,
even though I still prefer two.
mm,
The reason I say that is because it's like the setting of one just with it was like a next generation of Resident Evil gameplay.
mm.
I wish they would have done a Resident Evil 2 remake like the Resident Evil 1 remake. That would have been
100%.
awesome.
Yeah.
Um, I think just Resident Evil 1 remake is a perfect survival horror game.
Mm,
However, I will say it shouldn't have added that Lisa Trevor character. I didn't like her. I think she was pointless. There was no need for her.
mm.
Um, I'm
I
okay with the Crimson Heads. Well,
I could see what you're saying that it really doesn't change anything in too much either
yeah,
way. But I liked it. I thought it was cool, interesting. I don't have a problem with it. I think there's definitely been a lot of other worse characters. Um, I think for the franchise, it peaked there. Uh,
yeah,
I agree that I'm in the same boat with you that probably Resident Evil 2 is my particular favorite. I always tend to put them together as like the best in the franchise. But there's obviously like the upgrading graphics is unreal.
yeah.
Like I played the first time I played it was on the GameCube, and
You,
like even that holds up really well. And if you play like the remastered version, which is like a graphical upgrade, it doesn't change
yeah,
the game.
HD.
Yeah, and it is unreal. I wish that
It still looks good.
I wish modern games would do more like pre-rendered backgrounds and that. I just think that they
Yup.
work well, man. And I think, like little things like, like when you're walking down down the hallways and then the moonlight's coming
Yup.
through the windows and like, um, just it's such a stunning game.
Yup.
The vibe, the visuals, like it expands on the underground part. Um, it's just it's an amazing game.
Yeah, I love the game, but like I said, like the Lisa chick, I just felt she was tacked on. I didn't feel like she really affected the story. It's not like a big deal. Obviously, obviously think the game's still perfect.
Mm.
Um, I I did like the Crimson Heads gameplay. Wise, I wish they would have. The claws kind of look a little cheesy, but
It's
other
only
than
really
that,
on that main one underground though.
yeah, yeah, he
If I
had that
remember.
Abe Lincoln.
Yeah, yeah,
I think
yeah.
they all do. I think they all have the
Did they?
claws.
Yeah, I think you might be right
Yeah,
actually. Yeah,
it's fine, but
yeah.
I
Wh-
still think that game's
When you
badass.
first work out, oh, if I just burn the bodies, they don't
Yeah,
come back. It's
yep.
like when you
And,
first realize that, you're just like, that's a face palm moment.
and that one, I will say this: like, I think that game is harder than all of the first three
Mm.
Resident Evils. However, even though I beat it personally, I beat that game. I got all the
Yeah,
achievements on the
yeah.
Steam version,
I
and
platinumed it on the PlayStation.
yep. So we know what's up. That game is. I
Yeah,
love the even the invisible mode was fun.
yeah,
I'd play it one time and that's it, just to get the achievement. But
yeah. Same.
'cause I like seeing the enemies.
Yeah,
A knife only run. It's actually pretty easy to
it's
use a
pretty
knife on
easy.
that game once you get the
Yeah,
hang of it. Like
yeah.
it's been a while since I did it.
You just play on a low, easier setting, and it's not that hard. Um,
You know what though? I actually beat the game on the hardest setting. A knife only run on the hardest setting. Uh, and did the I got two simultaneous achievements. I think it was the knife plus I can't remember exactly, but I remember I did the knife on hard. but I couldn't. Me, I personally, I don't like playing easy mode on that game because
Mm.
it feels a little too easy. So I
Mm.
just play hard, and
I think I
I
did
just.
the. I think I just did it for the knife only. I think I did an easy run and just knocked it out of the way just for the achievement.
You know
Um.
what's funny? I didn't even know there was a very easy mode on that game.
Oh,
That
true.
until because I never selected it. It always asks you questions in the beginning,
Hmm.
and a friend beat it, and
Hmm.
I seen that he said, "Yeah, I beat it on normal." I'm like, "No, you didn't. You beat it on very easy." What?
What is it? How did you find this? Very. I didn't even know it existed. And it's like,
Uh,
yeah, I beat it on like nearly the hardest
I,
setting.
you know what, too? Well, go ahead. There's something I want to say about
Yeah, go for it.
when I try to show people the original Resident Evil series. I get a lot of flack because, like, my friends, a lot of people I've known over years, I always try to get them into the original
Hmm.
games, and it's like they're resistant to it. It's like Resident Evil the originals has an effect on people where they actually get pissed off if you try to recommend that game to them. I'll be
Yeah,
like, "Hey,
true.
man, try this game out." I don't know. Nah, that game looks like not my type of game. I'm like, dude, just give it a shot. I try to get people to play it, but what is what is it about the original Resident Evil games that people just don't like?
Hmm.
Most people just
I
it's you
don't
know what's
know.
crazy? You try sitting somebody in a room
Hmm.
and pop on like a game like Call of Duty, they'll beat it.
Hmm.
You try sitting someone in a room, put a Resident Evil on, and they'll be there for hours and they won't get it. It sucks because
It's
that
because
style of gameplay.
you got to use your head.
Yeah,
It is clunky, but I think all that stuff works like as a positive. Because like to circle back to my Jaws analogy, that'd be like, come and check Jaws out or watch, and they're like, nah, they want to see Meg. Meg's so much better. Like, oh, I don't want. Look at that. Like, look at the shark in Jaws. That looks old and shit. But
yeah, they talk
but
shit
Jaws
about
is
them.
is a way better movie. Like,
Yep,
it's just two different mindsets. It's the younger generation. They just want to see all this CGI bullshit. Um,
quick and fast.
yeah, like it's just
Short attention
a
span
short
kids like
attention
me.
span. I
We
it,
beat it.
yeah
We beat it when we were teenagers or younger,
yeah
12 years
that's
old. So
yeah.
I don't know how they can't
Um,
handle it. I miss those.
they
Oh, go
weren't
ahead.
easy games. Like
They weren't.
especially
They weren't.
especially if you played and finished them when they came out and you didn't have access to the internet to tell you exactly where to go and where to find shit and how to do all the
Also,
fucking
I also think too that a lot of the modern games have kind of messed up how like people play games, not like the older games.
hmm.
They get too used to like waypoints, checkpoints,
Yeah,
and all that stuff.
you get handheld.
Yeah,
But I
I
mean,
kind of wish more
it
people
is what it
experienced
is,
it
man.
though.
It is what it is. Like I stopped caring a long time ago. The people can
Yep.
like whatever they like. If they like what you like, go for it. I got my stuff, and this is the good thing as well. And like I haven't had a chance because one, I don't have time, and two, I don't really have a PC set for it. But there's a lot of cool Mogans, and like fan made Resident Evil mods and stuff that look fucking awesome, dude. Like
Yeah.
you
Cool
really could
game.
just you could play the Resident Evil Mogans and like Mortal Kombat Mogans, and then you wouldn't need to buy any new games like that. Right there, that's got you covered.
When you choose the time when you're gonna choose a PC, let me know and
Yeah,
I'll
yeah. Let me
put
know. When
some
I
deals,
gotta have
man, for
some,
you to play some Mugen.
I gotta have some time, which I am looking to like little intermission. I am looking to change up my life a little bit and get out of doing what I'm doing and have a little bit more free time. So maybe in the next few months,
Sick,
well,
sick.
because like I said, I'm going to sell that other property and look at doing something different. But so we'll move on to the next two remakes, the second and third one. So when I first heard about this, obviously, like I was um, skeptic. Like I was excited, but I was very skeptical because the last few games, like 5 and 6, that we'll get to in the like coming later on in this podcast, were like pretty much at this point. I was like, I think after the 6, again, we'll touch on it, but I didn't even finish it. I got like halfway through the Leon one, and I was like, I'm done. And then I was like, I'm not. I think for the franchise, I'm hanging a hat on it. Like I'm fucking done with the franchise.
It's over,
It's
huh?
over.
It's
And then
done.
like I heard
Fuck that
about
game.
yeah, and I was like, I heard about RE2 remake, and I'm like, you know, I want to get excited, but I'm not going to until I hear more. And then I heard Over the Shoulder, and I'm like, this is going to be another fucking over the shoulder action game. And I was like, fuck this game. But it proved me wrong. It's a great
Yes.
game. It works well. There's a few things like, you know how I was saying about uh, with the camera angles and stuff, it can make it hard to shoot the zombies, or they can jump out on you. Like they do a good job with the new remakes in like when they're coming after you, they kind of like
Yeah.
stagger, which can make it hard to shoot them, which
Yep.
helps circumvent that issue with them not just standing in front of you and making it too easy.
One sec, okay?
Yeah,
Can you
yeah, go
wait
for it.
one
Yeah, yeah,
sec?
go for it.
I'm still here. I just gotta grab one thing. Okay, I'm back, man. It's because I had to open my door. Got hot. Okay.
Yeah, so I was just saying that I think the animation design of the zombies and whatnot, they did a really good job. But yeah, I'll let you take over. What did you think? What did you think going in, and did it live up to expectation? Was it better? Was it worse than what you thought it
So
would be?
so when I first heard it, I was excited. I didn't have no doubts because remember at the time Resident Evil 7 had came out, and I thought the story of 7 was not good at all. I didn't care for the story,
Mm,
but I liked the way it played. It felt like a survival horror game,
mm,
and I was like, I'd rather have this than over the shoulder stuff.
yeah.
It's even though it's first person, I like the way it plays. There's actual item management and challenge. Because when I played Resident Evil 7 the first time, I played. I know we're talking about remake
Mm,
uh, 2, but I just wanted this part. Resident Evil 7, the first time I played it on hardcore mode the first time, and that felt like, dang, the challenge is back. I like it. It was
mm,
even harder than playing the original Resident Evil games on normal mode,
mm,
which was usually challenging. So Resident Evil 2 remake, when I heard about it, I was excited because I was impressed with 7.
mm,
And I didn't have no doubt that they were going to do a good game.
mm,
There was a few things that I did not like about it, but like I said earlier, the zombie moons kind of they suck
mm,
compared, and the music and all. But I will say they are the best looking zombies in the game, even to this day.
mm.
3 also, because 3 still has that same engine.
Yeah.
They are the best looking zombies. They have a variety to the outfits, and they just when you shoot them in a place, it shows the blood and guts and gore.
Yeah.
It's
You can
affected.
feel
So
the
I think they
impact.
are the best. Yep.
With some games, you're shooting and it's like you're just shooting at a paper target and they just rip apart, and it doesn't feel like you're
Yeah.
hitting anything. But when you're
Yep.
shooting them, you can blow parts off and they jerk, and that like it really feels like you're hitting a real target, and
It had a
you can
core
cut them to
system.
pieces as well, which is pretty
Yep.
cool.
The shotgun.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just shoot them down,
And,
shoot the kneecaps off, blow limbs off. You can like just cut them apart.
and
So
like you
it's
said too, the movements
mm,
that added to the gameplay. They weren't just static walking forward. Like the old games, yeah, it made sense because you weren't really using over the shoulder, so it was whatever.
mm,
But if you notice in Resident Evil 4, the enemies just walked
mm,
toward you. They didn't. They made once in a while, but it was so the challenge was back.
mm,
Unlike the other games where the enemies just stood and let you shoot them,
mm,
I like that. I have no problem. And the item management was back too. They
mm,
didn't shit out items, the enemies, and I like that. I think it's better when you actually have to explore the environment to get your power ups
Yeah.
and your items.
It's
So I
it's
think that was sick.
yeah, I agree. It's the way them games are crafted. The ones we've just touched on, Code Veronica, Zero. I really enjoy the way the games are designed, and like you said, your item resource, just everything. I just really enjoy them. So I
Yeah,
just
we
wish they
forgot
did.
to talk about that too.
Yeah, I just wish they did more of that instead of all this other crap. Um,
Where the enemies pop out items. I don't like that. Never
nah,
been a fan.
I like, yeah, I love the I found like, because if you play a Resident Evil game the way it's supposed to be played, I always finish the game with like tons of ammo and health. You
Yeah,
know what I mean? But if you go into it playing like it's an action game, or you're not really prepared or haven't played a game like that before, it is an item resource management, and not just your ammunition and health. It's also your ink ribbons. You know, if you're
yep,
too liberal with your ink ribbons, you're going to get towards the end of the game and not going to be able to save. So, just between like, I don't know, there's a bit of fun in that, in being tight with all that stuff, and then re-going back through and just, yeah. I think the second one was cool. I think the Mr. X was an improvement. I really enjoyed him in the second game. I think he was great. Um,
are you talking
with
about
in
from two the remake?
yeah, I think like he was good in the original, but I think he was a big improvement in the remake.
Yeah, like
I really enjoyed that part, and you could hear him walking around the mansion. You can hear the doo 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 doo, and you're like, fuck. You don't want to get
yeah,
cornered in anywhere, or like, so you're always kind of a little bit on edge. It holds the anticipation and never gets a chance. Because with this would probably be my one critique of the original two, is when you in there's points in the game, right, where you've kind of done everything and you're not sure what to do or where to go, and it can pull the tension a little bit away, because you're in between where you are now and where you're supposed to go, but you haven't quite put it together.
yeah,
Where with Mr. X, the tension's always there, because
yeah.
you
I
don't
get
want to
that.
get boxed in anywhere or anything. And then the lickers, because in this one, like, if Mr. X is chasing you around and they're blind, you can't sneak
Yeah.
past if he's walking along with it. So you're getting pushed into a bloody, a big trap, with a bunch of lickers and zombies, and Mr. X is thumping
And
along behind you.
I also think there's a way where you know what I like about the remake of 2 also is
Yeah.
that there's not enough ammo to kill every enemy
Mm.
like the original. I like that. You
I never
I
even
don't
realized that. Eh.
yeah, cuz I don't think you get enough ammo on that one either. You get
Mm.
a decent amount just to kill the enemies that you need to, but I like that about the old Resident Evil games and the
Mm.
remakes is that you can't just go around shooting everything because enemies don't drop things off. And yeah, I do like I like that. Mr. X is way better on the remake. I
Yeah.
just don't like his design. That's all. The way
Mm.
his gameplay, the added to it, I'm fine with that.
Mm.
I didn't like the hat he had. I thought that was kind of stupid. But other than that, the way he plays, I think yeah, it does make the game
Yeah.
better,
Mm.
knowing that he could find you anywhere.
Mm.
I
Literally.
just don't like the save room. I think that he should be able to follow you everywhere. That's the
Mm.
only thing. I know it's part of the gameplay, but that
Mm.
anytime I was being chased by him, I just run into the save room.
Mm. Yeah. Yeah, I think. Yeah, I mean, overall, I was very pleased with it. It was better than I expected. Was it better than the original? No, because the original has better tension and atmosphere. But there's definitely parts about it that is better. I mean, I'm not talking about graphics. If a game is, 20 years newer or whatever it is, or
Hmm.
was, of course it should bloody be looking better.
I
Um,
will say, I was just gonna say, I think Resident Evil 2 is the best out of the over-the-shoulder Resident
mm.
Evil games of all time.
I agree. I don't think it'd be hard to argue that one. I would. Did you play the Mercenaries mod with Hunk?
On two, oh
Yeah,
yeah, I beat everything on,
yeah.
but it's been a while since I played it.
In the remake
I
though, did
probably
you play that?
6 years ago. Yeah, I got all the achievements on that
Yeah,
one too.
yeah. That was.
Uh,
I liked that. I thought that was pretty
um,
cool.
I
Which one?
think
Which
also
one of the
too
had? Which one of the mercenary ones and the older ones had tofu as well? Which one was that?
two. He's
It
on it.
was
He's
two.
on it.
Yeah, I thought so.
Yeah,
Tofu.
I like. It's challenging. It's fun and
Mm.
challenging, and I also like playing as William. No, no, not William Burt. What's that chick? She was like in a white dress. I forgot her name. And the crazy the what's his the weird cop. Forgot.
Not Ada.
Nah, not her. It's
Mm.
some a white blonde girl that isn't. He kills her. The police chief
Oh
Irons. He
yeah.
kills
Yep.
her.
Yep. Yep.
I like that
Yeah.
side story where you're playing as her is pretty
Mm.
fun and um,
And it's the uh Shelley Shelley
yeah,
Birkin when she's like crawling through and then old mate
yeah.
searching for her. That was
That
cool.
guy's weird. That
Yeah.
guy. I didn't like his redesign that much, but
I was gonna say, look, I
you
like
said
that part, but I think overall I liked Chief Irons better in the original because in the
yeah,
original,
me
like
too.
he's a bad guy, but he's like in the remake he was like over the top though. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah, I didn't like that
yeah,
either.
he was like way too much. Where in the first one, in the original one, he was just like a normal bad guy. Where
Yeah.
in the new one, he was just like yeah, he was a little bit too over the top for me.
Yeah, he was never a threat to Claire.
Yeah,
He never attacked her. He never he was just he had weird things going on behind the scenes.
yeah, yeah.
I think they tried to add that, but it was yeah, you're right though.
So Resident Evil Remake 3.
That
The thing that stood out for me is obviously the redesign of Nemesis. I much rather the original design personally.
me too.
Um, to get it out of the way, short game. Uh, but I think for me, and like we haven't touched on a lot of the other ones coming, but all the ones we've just spoken on, great games. A lot of the other ones
Yeah,
coming up, not so much. So when your expectation over the last few years has been really low, I still liked it. I still thought it was good. I still enjoyed it a lot more than a lot of the other games we're going to speak on. It was, other than the fact that it was a short game,
sorry.
it was still a fun game. Like I still
Yeah,
liked it, but it is a bit short, especially once you figure out the game. I think I finished it in like 50 minutes or something silly. I can't remember
yeah. I
exactly,
love.
but yeah, it was like less than an hour, I think. I'd have to double check, but it was around there. It was something. I blew through it real quick.
I still like the remake. I don't. I just it was too short and there wasn't enough and it felt kind of like DLC for two.
Hmm.
They should have just put it as DLC for two.
Hmm.
It didn't feel like a full game.
Nah.
I think they should have made it bigger, like add more stuff to it. I know they took out the big earthworm
Yeah.
in the cemetery. That was stupid because that was one of my favorite parts in the game. Remakes are supposed to add, not take away, so that was
Hmm.
disappointing. As a remake, it ain't that good, but as like a game on its own, it was pretty fun,
It's
and it was
fun.
something. Offer it's forgettable though because I can't
Hmm.
remember much. The best
Yeah,
part of
that's
the
it.
game to
Yeah.
me was a hospital.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that.
I like
Look,
the
I think
hospital.
overall it was fun. It was like has a lot of the mechanics I enjoy from the original Resident Evils. I can't remember if it was like 50 minutes or it was like an hour and a half. I can't remember. It didn't take me long. But obviously, again, that's skipping through everything and like sprinting through the whole game. If you play it normally, it's probably like a 2.5 hour game. You know. Um,
Yeah, the first time I played it, I took my time. I can't remember. I didn't beat it like super fast, but it
yeah.
was a lot shorter than I expected,
I
and
think
I didn't even rush it.
it just needed another area like added on. You know.
Yeah,
Um, but it's okay. Like it's good. It's good as in if you just is it fun? Yes. Is the game too short? Yes. Another thing that I'll add that was kind of a negative. Jill as a character was, your modern day boss woman type
That's
character.
just stupid.
She's like, you know, Jill in the original Resident Evil 3, still tough, still durable, but not that like I don't know.
Modern female.
Yeah, you know what I mean. Like how they
You
have them
know,
in a lot of movies and that these days. She's kind of a little bit insufferable. Which I always
yeah,
liked Jill in the old games. Um, it's kind of like, all right, if you look at Ripley, like especially Ripley in the first Aliens movie, tough as nails. But she's not running around blowing things up with a rocket launcher like she's
yeah,
fucking Schwarzenegger from Commando. You know what I mean? Like, there's a way to portray a woman as a tough and durable woman without maybe making her a little bit too much of a. But it
yeah.
wasn't
She's
that too
only
bad. Look, I'm nitpicking. I'm nitpicking. It was still a great game. I guess I'm nitpicking, but I thought I'd point that out.
yeah, because like Ripley was only tough because she had no choice to
Yeah,
be, or if she died.
and that you've got
Should
two.
be like that.
Yeah, you've got two types of people. They kind of step to the plate, they don't. But she's just very
Arrogant.
yeah, and difficult. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
She
yeah. I
just
didn't like
seems
that about her either.
yeah.
Even
They changed
Leon.
her. Yeah.
You know what I don't like about Leon on the? I know on Resident Evil 2 he feels like a normal person, but on 4 on up he just acts like an action
Oh.
hero. I don't like that either. It
Yeah.
kind of kills the survival horror vibe.
Look, Leon in say the first quarter of 4, all good, but by the end of that game it gets silly. But speaking, I mean, we'll go into Code Veronica next.
Wait,
Um,
one more thing.
yeah, man.
What would you rate the remakes?
Well, easily the first one is going to be the first one. Easily the second one is the second one. I know this is going to be controversial, but I'll put third and fourth.
Third. Wait, wait, I don't understand.
So
Um,
I'll pretty much in order: Resident Evil 1 remake, 2 remake, 3 remake, and then 4 remake.
oh, okay.
I know a lot of,
You
and
like?
4 is not a bad game. It just it's a better game than 3 by a mile, but it's just
Yeah.
kind of like, you know.
I'll say this. Well, I mean, like the first three remakes,
Mm.
but if you were to put them in a number rating,
Oh, out of 10. Uh, okay, so if I'm gonna rate them then, and not necessarily by which one I would play, if I was going to reach for one,
yeah,
it would be Resident Evil 1 remake. I'd give a 10. Resident Evil 2 remake, I would give a 7.5. 3 remake, I would give a 7, and then 4 remake, I would give probably a 7.5 to maybe an 8. So it's a better game than 3. But if I was to play, if I was like wanted to play one, I'd probably still grab 3, just because I just enjoy that mechanic
yeah.
more.
My ratings, okay, Resident Evil Remake 1, of course, a 10. 2, I actually love it. I think that gets a 9 for
Nice.
Remake 2. The reason I say that is because it's like, it just didn't do anything wrong. And even the audio, as much as I didn't like it, I had no
Mm.
problem with it.
Yeah, it's not that bad.
3, unfortunately, I got to give that a 6 out of 10.
Mm.
But only because it's too short and they took away instead of adding. And I didn't like Nemesis at all. I didn't like Nemesis in the original, but I didn't like him at all in this one because
Mm.
he sounds stupid like a computer and
Mm.
just annoying. It wasn't scary at all. 3 was not scary at all.
Mm.
And like you even said, I didn't really like how Jill acted.
Mm.
And 2, they act like real people. That's
Mm.
why I like the remake of 2. They act like real people. We haven't talked about 4 remake yet, but I will give 4 remake a 7
Hmm.
out of 10 because I didn't like the fourth one that much in the first place, mainly because I'll just say
Change the
this for I
franchise.
know we're gonna talk about it later, but 4 is to me a bad Resident Evil game, but a good action game.
Bingo.
Um,
I agree.
that's
Well, we'll circle
why,
back around to that one
yeah,
because we'll get to that one. I kind of want to stick to the
classics.
yeah, and like for me, I would add Code Veronica and Zero in there. They've got the fixed camera angle style for the most part. I know that Code Veronica can move around a bit, but I kind of lump them all in together, like as far as 1, 2, 3, Code Veronica X and Zero. Like that's the
Yeah,
original games, and I wanted to, instead of talking about the remakes all the way later towards the end, we just sort of went over them games, and I kind of wanted to keep it in that flow in that era, and I wanted to sort of be able to go
classics.
back, yeah,
I do
classics
too.
and back and forth, being able to talk back and forth about them instead of leaving it all the way to the end. Um, but yeah, Code Veronica.
That game. Okay. Quick question: did you play Code Veronica on Dreamcast or
Code
another system?
Code Veronica X PS2.
Okay. I'm one of the lucky few Americans that got to play the Code Veronica day one for the Dreamcast, and
Wow.
I'll tell you, because like I did the Resident Evil 3, I went and I got Resident Evil Code Veronica. I rented it from Blockbuster, the same Blockbuster too,
Hmm.
and that at the time there hadn't been a 3D Resident Evil. To me, that was groundbreaking. I didn't. It was crazy. My mind was.
Hmm.
I'll even say this: Dreamcast in general. That was the first console that I'd say was a next generation console.
Hmm.
That's where graphics started looking like you could tell that they look real.
Hmm.
So when I played that, it wasn't that scary of a game, but it had everything I like about Resident Evil. I like the story of Code Veronica.
Hmm.
The only thing I do not care for is when they started giving powers to characters. Uh, the final boss,
Hmm.
what's her name? I know it's
Ah, yeah.
Alexia Ashford.
Yeah. Yeah.
They started making him sentient. I didn't care for that, but it
Hmm.
didn't bother me that much. They didn't go over the top. Um,
It was
it
walking
was
up
a
to the
pretty
line
damn
where other games fucking
yeah.
set a ramp and jump the shark
Hmm.
over that line.
Yes, they did.
You know what I mean?
Yep. And
Um,
you know what's funny?
yeah.
That Steve Burnside kid, he wasn't that annoying to me back then.
Bruh, fucking he annoyed the shit out of me.
And I
But
didn't even get annoyed by him that much. I actually liked his character because he felt kind of cartoonish, but
yeah,
I could see why though. I didn't really. He's not someone that. He's not that annoying to me.
yeah.
I
Ah,
liked
fair
his
enough.
2 guns.
Yeah.
Remember those 2 guns he'd always come out with?
I mean,
Classic.
the Ashfords can be a
The
bit much
Lugers.
because it goes from, like uh, an evil corporation looks to try and build, monsters and bioterrorism stuff,
Yeah.
and then to these Ashford family with that stupid laugh and that, it just
Yeah.
seems a
Yeah.
little bit too quirky for me. And that kid, he was annoying, but
You
it,
like when he died,
it,
huh?
it's just
I
it's
actually felt bad. I'm like, dang, that was cheesy though when he admits, "I love you, Claire." That was cheesy.
yeah. It went back old, like back to the first one. They added the
Yeah,
cheese on,
cheesy.
like double layer, mate.
Mozzarella.
Yeah, they fucking added the cheese on that one. But it was
I
kind of
actually
like
liked it. Oh,
it's kind of I enjoy I but if you strip all that away, it has what I enjoy. It's the way the games play and the whole system of it. Like of collecting all your resources and
yeah.
killing your zombies. Like I just that gameplay mechanic. I love that. Um, like I agree. When I first played it, obviously it was on PS2. You know, at the time, you were like, holy shit, it was a big jump, um, graphically, but in a funny way, in some sense, like it's even though it looks better in some other ways, it looks a lot more dated than the older ones. Maybe
Yeah,
not the
yeah, they
first
made
one,
it well.
maybe not the first one, but the second and third, I think the pre-rendered backgrounds, like, they really work well. And then it's like if you look at Mortal Kombat Trilogy and then Mortal Kombat 4. You
Yeah,
know what I mean? Mortal Kombat
or
Trilogy still looks fucking great, and 4 looks like dog shit. You know, so
yep, just like the Super Mario 64 looks outdated compared to Super Mario Bros. 3 and
yeah,
Super Mario World. But it's just, back then we didn't care. We were like, oh, 3D,
yeah,
3D
that's
is
right.
the
It's
future.
yeah,
So we didn't mind it back
yeah,
then. And even, yeah, I do see it does look less detailed than,
mm,
uh, well, the models, of course, don't, but everything else looks less detailed than the pre rendered.
mm.
But at the time, I was fine with it because I
You
knew
didn't
that it
even,
was full 3D
yeah, you
and
didn't
the
even really
pre-rendered
notice.
could
You're
be
just
more.
like, oh
Yep.
wow, this is the whole world's all 3D. But yeah,
And
a great game. But I remember it's been a while since I played it. I remember it being a decent length as well. Like,
it was long.
yeah, I remember it being a decent length game.
You couldn't
Um,
just speed run. That one's the hardest one to speed run. I can't really speed run that one.
mm,
I never, even though I love the game,
mm,
I will say this: it is the most confusing. Um, I'll wait. I'll take that back. It's the second. I'll tell you why. What the first most confusing one is. It is second most confusing one. There's a part that really, every time I play it, it stumps me for a little bit,
mm.
and I have to like think, and then I pass it.
So, you want to move on to the next one, Resident Evil
Zero.
Zero? Um,
Um,
I think graphically, great game, especially with an updated version that they did. I quite like the train segment. I think that was the best part of the whole game, which, funnily enough,
yep.
is the start of the game. Um, outside of that, I reckon it might be the weakest out of all the games we just mentioned.
I agree. I
Um,
like it. It's at least my least favorite one out of the retro ones. I'll
yeah,
tell you what. After.
but you know what they say, right? Great minds think alike. So yeah, well, go for it. You tell us a little bit about what you think of Zero.
I still like the game. I still enjoy it.
Mm,
Uh, I'll be honest. I'd probably. It's crazy. I'm kind of hard on like the modern Resident Evil games.
mm,
I think Resident Evil Zero, and I'm not talking about the way it plays. The way it plays is fine.
mm,
The some of the design choices, like dropping items on the ground, and then I don't care about playing as two characters. Like if they would have done it better,
mm,
yeah, maybe. But the way they did it made the game just kind of a pain in the ass to play,
mm,
and that's ain't that crazy. Earlier I was saying, you have to have a good attention span to beat the old ones. This one, nah, that Zero, you gotta actually have like extreme patience to play that game. That
mm.
game can be annoying sometimes, even if
Yeah,
you love the old retro Resident Evil games.
it's it's
That it's
it's
cryptic.
forgettable. It's forgettable.
It, yeah, it is. It
Yeah.
is. I do like the enemies though. They have animal zombies. That's
Mm,
pretty cool. I never. I wish they would have added more animal zombies on the old ones,
mm.
like I think they were like chimps, baboons, or something, gorillas, little
Yeah,
apes.
that's right. Yeah.
The scorpion, even though the scorpion is kind of cheesy, I like the scorpion, the massive scorpion,
Mm,
um, and the huge bats
mm,
were pretty cool. But the game wasn't that scary, and I do think it looks just as good as the remake of one.
mm.
It's one of the best looking ones.
The train sequence when the zombies get
Yeah.
like that looks great. But overall,
Oh, yeah.
it's it's good. It's in. I would still obviously it's in what I would consider. When I think of Resident Evil, I think of all the games we just mentioned,
Yeah.
and it's in that league, and it's a good game. But if I was to reach for any of them, that one would be on the bottom of the pile.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I'd rather play any of the modern RE games over that. Just if I had no choice.
Like any of the
That one,
modern RE remakes or
yeah,
modern in general.
any of the modern ones in general. That's how much I don't really care for. I don't hate the game. I still think
Yeah.
it's okay, but I don't like the enemies. Like the main character, the main bad guy is stupid. A white dude, the
Mm.
white robe dude,
Mm.
with the I think he's long hair,
Mm.
and I think the maggot monsters are stupid. What
Yeah,
were
I
they?
agree. Yeah, they were like
It was
leeches.
stupid. Leech
Yeah.
monsters. I think
Yeah.
that was stupid. I didn't care for that.
Yeah, I agree. Overall, it's a game like I think anyone out there that's a fan of the franchise should play it and finish it. But
Yes.
I don't think it's one you have to replay. It's like all the other ones, like 2 and 3 and all that. They're like, remember how I said you could finish it and like you could jump straight back into that game and like
Yep.
great replayability and pumped to replay it and blah blah blah. That one, no, I don't. I don't care for it that
I
much.
don't even blame someone if they don't even ever want to play it. That's ain't
Yeah,
that
yeah,
sad?
I
I
don't know.
Well, I think they should at least like if you want to be a Resident Evil fan, you
Check
must
it
play
out.
it. Obviously, I just don't think like play it once and that's it. Never touch it again if you don't want to. The only reason I play it more than once is to get the achievements, and even then, I haven't got all of them because the game ain't.
No, that I think
Like,
I got
I
about
don't want to jump back on
70.
it at the
That's it.
moment.
So we'll skip from that one. Then the side games, that are around the Raccoon City, like Resident Evil Outbreak and a
Good
Resident Evil
games.
Survivor, and yeah, like did you play any of them? What ones did you
Yep,
play? Is there any of them you
I got.
liked or?
Yep, I'm lucky. I got to play Outbreak when it first came out. I
Yep.
mean, by the way, if you ever get a PC, let me know. And if you ever want to play Outbreak online, there's ways. I was playing with my friend last year,
Mm,
Outbreak, and it's
mm,
great. Outbreak 1 and 2, they're pretty much similar.
mm,
Uh, I'll be honest, I didn't play like a lot of it,
mm,
but I did play every level on each Outbreak.
mm,
And I think they're really good games. It was back in the days of PS2 when got the network, the broadband adapter,
mm,
and I remember that I got that just to play those and Final Fantasy 11 at the time.
mm,
Good games, classic games. I wish they remaster them for modern consoles and PC.
mm,
Make it crossplay. That way, we'd never run out of players to play with.
mm.
I'm surprised Capcom hasn't. Those are the best multiplayer Resident Evil games. They are
Yeah.
hard though. I think they're actually harder than playing the single player RE games. They're not.
Yeah. No, I
Uh,
remember it being
don't play them if
difficult.
you don't have teammates.
Yeah.
Did you play them? You
I
played
played the second one. Um,
Big Elephant.
Yeah, I played the Outbreak 2, and I honestly, I know everyone seems to love them, but for me, I didn't really enjoy it, man. I got like halfway through it, and then it was like, this is confusing, and,
It
I was
is.
just like, it just wasn't really for me. I played,
You have to play with people you know. I think
yeah, if you played it with other people, I could see it maybe being more
I
enjoyable,
played
but
it
I played it,
alone, and I still.
yeah.
But remember, this is back in the day, in the early days, where I was just anything online amazed me.
And, and then, uh, Survivor, on the PS1,
Yeah.
the
You
first
know what?
person.
I only played that years later,
Yeah,
and I didn't play much of it.
yeah, it
Probably
was pretty
played like an
fucking good
hour.
though.
I didn't really like it that
Yeah,
much. There was a lot of hunters. I remember that. There was a lot of hunters.
yeah.
It reused a lot of the
I don't think I finished it, but I do think I got most of the way through. I mean,
yeah,
I
I
took
haven't
an,
played that one that much.
I
I don't
mean,
have really an opinion too much
I
on.
played it in the 90s, and it's
Yeah.
2025 now, so 2000 was 25 years ago, so it was over 25 years ago, however long ago it was. So I don't
Yeah,
have a
I
great
do
memory.
remember. I
Um,
remember the Resident Evil. It shared Resident Evil 2 character models for the zombies.
mm.
That's what I remember.
I And obviously I played a few of the ones on the Wii. They go
Yeah,
through the original
I had them
games,
both.
and I played
Umbrella.
them. They were fine enough. A little bit of, uh, yeah,
They were good. Umbrella Chronicles and Dark
I,
Side Chronicles.
yeah, that's right. Yeah,
Go ahead. What were you gonna say
Chronicles.
about it?
Yeah, no, that's I was just forgot the name of them, but yeah.
I will say, however, though, during that time period, a lot of people were. like jump in the RE bandwagon. And I remember the only thing I hated about those two games is people were using those games as an excuse to skip the first, like all the retro classics that we talked about,
Yeah, well, of
because
course
they
it does
wanted to
because
know the
they're the type of
story.
people that want that cheap popcorn bloody
Yeah.
version of a game where it takes no real,
So
it's just
yeah.
mindless. You know what I mean? It's a
So I
mindless
was
fun, which is
Yeah, it's a side game to play with. You're a
yeah,
fan, but I remember a lot of people, including people I knew in person, that I had previously tried to get. Because just so you know, there were a lot of people I knew, like my buddies and stuff, that hated Resident Evil, but then they automatically, like once RE4 came out, they were jumping the bandwagon
mm.
that I tried to get him into. But then those games came out, and they were like, "Oh, why do I have to play the old ones? I go, I'll play this instead." And that
Oh,
shit
they're
just
totally.
pissed me off. I was like, "What?
It's just like yeah,
No."
you do you, but they're totally different games.
Yeah, so it was, but I will say this: I think the original Resident Evil games, all of them,
Mm.
they do kind of, they're good games of measure if you're a gamer,
And
because they're actually really, you have to really use your brain to play them.
yeah,
You can't just speed run, like,
yeah,
well, you can't just,
not in your first go. You need to
yeah.
learn the game, and then you can speedrun. You got to earn your right to be able to speedrun it, basically.
They're so rewarding. The
Mm.
original Resident Evil games, they have this sense of rewarding
Mm.
that the new ones just lack. And I wish more people experienced it. Like I'm
Mm.
passionate about the old ones. I'm like, dang, if
Mm.
you only knew. Like at the end of the game, when you beat it, you're gonna be thinking the way what I'm saying right now is like rewarded.
Mm.
So, so yeah, the Dark Side and Umbrella Chronicles, they were good fun games.
The,
They were just arcade shooters.
there was another
Like
one that came out on the PS3, but I'm forgetting the name of it. It had the Nemesis on the front cover. Was it the
PS3,
Nemesis? Yeah, I had that, but I
I think it's
remember.
Survivor 2.
No, no.
Because
Um,
Survivor 2 is the one with RE Survivor 2 is because it's the sequel to
yeah,
Survivor
I
1.
forget the
It's
name
on
of it. I
PS2.
had it. I remember I got one trophy off the game, and that was it. So like, I
Can't
didn't think a
remember.
lot of it.
Oh yeah, by the way, did you play Survivor 2? I never got to play it.
No, no, I didn't
It's
either.
only in Europe. I don't.
Yeah,
It never got released in America. That's probably why.
yeah.
I'm gonna have to emulate it or something because I want to try it now.
But you happy to move on to the next main games in the franchise?
Yup.
All right. So, what did you think when you walked through a game store and you saw Resident Evil 4 for the first time? Initial thoughts.
Okay, so when I was reading and this is how I was introduced. At the time, I didn't have a GameCube, so I didn't get to like I didn't really care about the game. And I'll be honest, my friend he had a GameCube during that time period, and he bought the game. And I'll be honest that when I sat down to watch him play it, I was like, "Fuck this game! This isn't Resident Evil." I even remember back then I don't care about this game.
Yeah.
Like I was watching him, and I was like actually annoyed because like he was one of the ones that he swore by the Resident Evil is not that good. It's overrated and sucks. He was one of those guys that like you give him the controller of the original one and he'd get killed by the first zombie. He's one of those people.
Oh, so
So when I started
it's not the
playing that,
game sucks. It's that you suck at playing
yeah, that's what I always would like. You know what though? To be honest, I never really like tried to insult them.
Mm.
It was years later where like during that game came out and I'd be trying to like get people to play the ones prior to four.
Mm.
I think four is what kind of annoyed me, not because the game was bad.
Mm.
It's just because the way everyone praised it,
Yeah.
it was like, hey, what about the older ones? You don't care about those? But even back then, I didn't like the way it played. I watched my friend play, and I was like, if I want to play this shit,
You
I'll
know,
get
it
a
should have
game.
been Resident Evil Las Plagas, not Resident
Yeah,
Evil 4.
something.
It should have been an
Yeah,
offshoot. If it was Resident Evil Las Plagas,
I'll be honest. I think
I think as a game, it's a great game. As a Resident Evil game, not so much. Not if it's going to
Yeah.
take away for me, because you look at it now, right? There's like three different generations of Resident Evil, and each generation has the generation that they grew up with that they consider Resident Evil. Obviously, for us, we're
Sorry.
the original, we're the OG ones, and
Yeah.
for other people, I've heard countless people say that the fourth one is the best one, and people are
I
entitled
laugh at
to.
them every time I hear
Yeah.
that.
Well, look, for me, I just, like I said, with other people and their opinions, I just don't care. But if for them, I'm happy for them. Like, it is a great game. Um, it's interesting. I enjoyed it. Uh, and then I don't know why, but I guess I played that and played through it, and I just didn't think much about it. I just, for whatever reason, thought it was going to go back to the way it was before. I don't know why I thought that, but um,
So, well, or were you gonna? You could talk if you wanted
no,
to.
no, I was just, yeah, that's it, man. Like,
I'll be honest, I'm not like that. I'm completely different when it comes to that. I actually get annoyed by. I know I. It doesn't really bother me now, but back
mm,
then, yeah. But mainly it's because remember you got to think about the people I hung around. I tried for years to get them to play the originals, and um, they never wanted to. It's crazy. I did get one of my nephews to play Resident Evil 2,
yeah,
and he was out at when he played it. He was probably under 10 years old, and he actually beat it on his own.
yeah.
So I was like, I was proud of him. I was like, yeah, you're good at the game. But
They're harder games than four. Four is really a very simple game.
yeah, it's very simplified. It's too easy to enjoy for me. Like I don't feel rewarded when I play it.
It's like
Um,
watching a movie, but you're playing the
yeah,
movie.
when I
It is basic.
yeah, you got to remember. Like I was trying to get these same people um, that didn't like the old ones to play four. No, to
Mm,
play the old ones,
mm,
but they're playing four now. So initially, I kind of did hate the game, not because it was a bad game. Over the years, I still don't really care for the game. I think it's okay. It's not a 10 out of 10 game. It's nowhere near the top of the Resident Evil games, which is crazy because I hear that all the time. It's the best Resident Evil game. I
yeah.
still don't think so.
I think
Um,
50% of the people, whenever if you get ever like a list of like what's the best one, 50%
yeah,
of the people say four. I just think a
and
lot
it's
of it.
fun.
I think a lot of the time it's just because of their age, because
Yeah,
they're in their mid to late 20s, and that's
yeah,
the first one they played. And
yeah,
then it's disjointing. Like if you've never played the originals and then you played four and then you try to go back to the originals,
yeah,
like I could understand how it'd be disjointing. Like what the fuck is
yeah.
this?
I do too. I
Um,
get it.
but overall, the originals are better. But that's just my opinion. I
You
think,
know,
and this is where it starts. Like it starts off cool when you go in the village and they're burning that person alive, and blah blah blah. And but by the end of the game, like it's gets really outlandish. This is where it really starts to. I guess you could say Zero as well. We'll throw Zero under the bus there as well.
and Code Veronica.
Yeah, all right, fair enough.
But I think four took it to another level. I think Code Veronica and Zero still felt like
Yeah,
plausible,
yeah.
maybe without the leech stuff, but they didn't feel that crazy.
Yeah,
But they were starting to.
I think Code Veronica and Zero walked up to the edge of the pool. Resident
Yeah,
Evil 4 put some toes in there, and then 5 turned around and did a fucking double somersault straight into the deep end.
yeah. But I will say this: I think four did that. You want to know why?
Why is that?
They started having monsters pop out of the head that
Mm.
just like wiggled, and that felt so fake. And then you had a large robot that was chasing you. Remember in the bridge? I think it was a bridge.
Yeah.
That that part right there, actually, when I got to that part, I was like, "Yeah, this game sucks." That's how I thought. Yeah, this game is garbage. Like, what am I doing? And then running from boulders, quick time. I didn't like the quick time events. I thought all that stuff was
Yeah.
like it worked in Shenmue because remember I played Shenmue. I love that game, but
Mm.
it wasn't. It made no
This
sense in
ain't
Resident Evil.
Shamu. This is Resident
Yeah,
Evil. But
And
yeah,
then you
I
got
mean, overall, I think if there was never if that was Resident Evil 1, or
yeah,
like if you just call, let's not do that to the franchise. If it was just Las Plagas and
yeah, yeah.
it wasn't a Resident Evil 1, it wasn't a Resident Evil game, and Leon was like Jason or whatever, had a different
Yeah,
name, and you'd be like, yeah, it was cool.
yeah. It was
It was
okay.
fine.
They wouldn't have sold as much,
No,
obviously.
that's why.
I
And yeah,
will say this
yeah, go on.
just real quick. Monsters, Resident Evil enemies should not talk. They shouldn't be able to speak to each other. I think that shit's stupid.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we're about to get a whole lot more stupid in a
Yeah,
minute.
six is
But
six, especially six.
I look, overall good game. Things I like about it, yes. Uh, have I played it more than once? Yes. Um,
I
I don't
got all the
really.
achievements on it.
Yeah, I don't. Well, see, I didn't. I don't really. I think I could put more on it than that. I enjoyed the.
Well, on
I think the.
PS3.
I think the remake. I think they did a good job with the remake. Whether you're a fan or not a fan, or how big of a fan of the fourth one, I did like that they kept true to that game and just upgraded
Yeah,
its visuals. I think it was a great remake.
yeah.
Um,
I think it was better than
yeah,
the original.
yeah, I think it
A
was.
lot better.
I think it was. I think they did a good job with the remake. Um, as far as we'll move into 5 now. I remember seeing a trailer, right, for Resident Evil 5, and it had zombies in it, right? And I'm like, oh, sweet, yeah, cool. We're going back to zombies. Oh, it's in South Africa, blah, blah, blah. And then I guess at some point in development, they've changed their mind and then gone with the Las Plagas thing and took all the things that we just sort of mentioned about not liking in the fourth one
Yeah,
and fucking amped it up to 10.
yeah.
That game
You know what?
is kind of ridiculous. And look, again, if it wasn't a Resident Evil game, it'd be like, yeah, it was fun enough, like a fun action game. It ain't a horror game, like a fun enough action game. I think it would be fun if you had someone to play with, because
Yeah,
at the time when that came out, like obviously on the PS3, blah blah blah, but our internet wasn't good enough to run that. Like in Australia's renowned poor
yeah.
internet quality, so it wasn't good enough for me to really play with anyone. I think it could be fun in that aspect. Um, Fun enough game, really bad Resident Evil game. So I'll leave it up to you. What do you think?
Okay, five. At that time, I had already my passion for Resident Evil had already died, and I was thinking, why the fuck are we in Africa? It's stupid.
What is even
It's
going on here?
setting. It's the stupidest setting for Resident
Uh,
Evil. I don't know why they. And remember back then they were all like, "Oh, this game's racist." I'm like, no, you shoot fucking anyone
I
if
think that
they're enemies.
came later. That was retroactive. Uh,
I do remember some people saying it.
Even at the
I do
time.
remember. I didn't. Yeah, even back
You're
then, I'm
living in
like, oh,
California, though. I'm
shit.
not surprised.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
yeah, but
So,
to go from the
but it
original
was,
games, right, to
yeah,
you fighting Wesker and throwing boulders at him in a volcano,
yeah.
and it's
I
just
didn't
like,
like fighting.
what is even
They were
going
like,
on here? Like,
yeah, it
just
was stupid. It
ridiculous.
was like Zulu warriors with the spears and the
Yeah,
big old mask. It just
yeah,
felt comedic, like a
yeah.
cartoon
Remind
almost.
me of Crash Bandicoot.
Yeah, I actually like the game better than four, though. I
Hmm.
think it's way better than four. I
Oh
think
wow,
four is nowhere near as good as five, but I think,
wow.
but
George
yeah, I know,
coming in
but
with the hot takes.
yeah, well, it's because I had fun with the game. I think
Uh,
Mercenaries mode is the best on that game of any other game.
did you play it
Uh,
online with other people?
I did, but I did also play it a lot by myself because
Is it like good enjoyment playing with other people?
it's yeah, it is. But the thing is, so you could, it's kind of stupid. You could get yourself so powerful,
Mm,
upgrade your weapons so much to the point where you're invincible, and it makes the game too easy.
mm,
So if you're not playing on the hardest setting, and even the hardest setting, the thing that I hated about playing online is you'd be paired up with people who had infinite ammo,
Mm.
rocket launchers, and it make the difficulty like pointless.
Yeah.
So the game was fine when you play it like a normal, start from level one and beat the game with and leveling up your weapons the right way. But it had this thing where you could chapter select with upgraded weapons
Mm.
and one shot bosses. It was stupid. So um, the reason I think it's better than four is because I like mercenaries mode. I think
Mm.
it's the best one. I think that's the real reason to have that game. The campaign, the story mode is okay, but I'll be honest. I think it's a better game than four, but it's a even shittier Resident Evil game. It's a game that I don't think I'll ever. Well, maybe I will to get the achievements, but other than that, it's not
You
like.
wouldn't go out of your way to play it again.
But I do like the mercenaries mode, and I think the way it plays is really good. I think it plays way better than four.
Mm.
Um, but they're both like near the bottom of my list of Resident Evil games.
Mm.
Um,
Definitely.
yeah, they're not bad. Games are just like forgettable. Like the games are too damn easy once you level up shit.
So, speaking of bad games,
Oh,
Resident Evil
wait,
6.
one more. Can I say one more thing?
Mm.
The one thing I hate about five, I will say this: there was no save rooms, and
Mm.
it wasn't like one long continuous mission. It was levels and chapters, episodes. I didn't like that structure. I kind of like the way the old ones,
Mm.
were set up. But
Mm.
yeah.
No, fair enough. Yeah, I
Oh yeah. One last thing. One last thing. The enemies suck on five.
Mm.
They're the worst. Out of all the enemies in Resident Evil games, I think five has the worst monsters.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know if I have a lot of good things to say about it. One good thing. One good thing.
Yeah.
I like jacked Chris, and then I liked reusing him. You know how you could use a character skin in the remake of Resident Evil
Yeah.
1? That's the only good thing that came in that game, because I used that version of him in that game. But other than that, um,
The DLC sucked. I'll say that the DLC for five
I
sucked.
don't
I
think
didn't
I
like
even
this.
played it.
It's like a
Uh,
remade
speak
Spencer Mansion.
Speaking of games I didn't play, Resident Evil 6, I played probably like halfway through the Leon campaign, and I just never played it again. I didn't finish it. It's the
So
only Resident Evil game I didn't finish. I didn't play any of the other different characters. I was just like, I think at that point I was just like, you know what? Fuck this franchise, like,
yeah,
fuck this shit, I'm out. You know what I mean? Like,
you want to know what I
I'm
did?
done, man.
2012. In 2012 I was there for the midnight release.
Yeah.
It was a horrible game. Getting back,
Mm.
I played it. It was cool at first. I felt like, yeah, this is pretty cool. And then
Mm.
the more you play it, yeah, even then, back then, I thought I knew it was over for Resident Evil. I was like, what the fuck is talking mercenaries,
Mm.
bad guys that
Mm.
have a weird, their head, when you shoot their head off, they pop out monsters. It was stupid. The monster design was pretty bad.
Mm.
I didn't like that game. I think it was the least, out of all the Resident Evil games, that is the worst one.
Mm.
I
Yeah.
do like playing co-op with friends was kind of fun, but that's it. And even then, it's kind of a boring game too,
Mm.
especially the levels where you're on a snowmobile. Those are the worst levels in the game.
Mm. I never played. I don't remember any snowmobiles. I remember just playing it.
Sonic Adventure.
I
Wow.
was just like, oh, I don't remember who told me or where I heard it from, but it was just like, just play the Leon campaign. And I just remember getting
It still
halfway through it.
sucked.
Yeah, I was just like, this is fucking shit. And
It
that's what I
starts off
said.
cool.
That's why I was like, you know what? I'm hanging my hat on the franchise. Um, but I mean, then it came out with the new style of Resident Evil with 7. So I
Yep.
obviously gave that a
Oh,
shot. But
one more thing. Uh, did you like the beginning setting the of Leon's campaign on six? I actually thought it where you're in like the school. I thought that was pretty cool. Just the beginning, but then once the zombies start coming out, the gameplay popped up, the action, it sucked.
Yeah, honestly,
I like the lead up.
I don't even really remember. I
Oh,
think I
okay.
might have put the disc in the console maybe 2 times, and that was it. And I was just like, I'm done.
It's done.
Yeah, I honestly thought that it was going to be like that's it. I'm never playing another one. But yeah,
And then seven.
they all jump into seven. Seven. Look, it's the same thing again. Where like, was it a good game? Yes. Was it a bad Resident Evil game? Yes. Like, it just like you didn't have to put Resident Evil in the title. You could have literally put anything in there. No one would have bat an eye. You know what I mean? It's just
Yeah,
you dragging that franchise through because you want to do something different, but you want us long-time fans to come and buy whatever you put Resident Evil on. I think that's a shitty move. I think that if you wanted to do that game, just let it stand on its own merits. Which,
yeah.
like I said, like it's not a bad game. It's it's a good game, but you know what I'm saying. Like, it's not a Resident Evil game. Like, don't do that. Like,
It's
overall, I played it with actually I played that game right with the VR headset on. Um, and like I tried it initially with in full VR mode, but when you turn, it's like you're turning on a cog. It's like too disjointing.
yeah.
So
That
I
I
went
couldn't
with
play like that.
I went with the full because you can have the headset on, and then it's like you got a big cinema screen in front of you, and it's still
Yeah,
very immersive. So I played it like that, which is cool. Where like when she comes up the stairs and all that, and it's
yeah. I
like it feels
remember
like
that.
it's right in your face. So overall, it was good. I don't know if I would ever play it again, but like it did cool things. It went back to horror at least, um, which I could appreciate. So, but yeah, your turn. What do you reckon?
I liked it a lot. I thought it was way better than 6, 5, and 4. I'd rather
Mm.
play that over any of those. I didn't like the characters. I think the what is Baker family, I think was it.
Yeah,
They sucked. They
yeah,
were kind of, especially the main bad guy, like the I think
the
like
old
the young
man.
guy, the young son, not
Oh,
not that guy, but the one that has you in a room with bombs and stuff. I think
mm.
he was annoying. He sucked. The old man. I didn't like I said, I don't like when they start having enemies talk. The fight with
It's
the old lady was creepy though, with the
yeah.
bee lady, where she
It's
has
very
bees and stuff.
Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Like
Yeah,
it's like if the Texas Chainsaw Massacre family got infected with this, virus. Like,
I like the monsters though. I like them. They reminded me if you've ever seen the whole old horror movie from the 80s called Chud, Chud.
no, I don't
It's
think
about
I.
homeless people that get killed in the sewers and they turn into like monsters.
Yeah,
I thought the monsters looked cool.
yeah,
They were kind of creepy. I didn't like the story that much, and I think the little girl killed. The ending sucks horribly. With that little girl, like, how are you supposed to be scared of a little girl that has psychic powers?
like
Scared of this
yeah,
ugly looking kid, man. Like, why do you have to add that little ugly little girl?
yeah.
It would have been
Look,
better if they just kept biohazard type
yeah.
enemies and stuff. I think it
I,
was way better than the previous ones. Though.
I think it was. I think four was better, but I think that's better than 5 and 6. Definitely 6. Um, did I go through it and enjoyed it? Yeah. I don't think I'd replay it though.
You know what though? 6 was like a continuation of the action that people kept bugging Capcom for. That's
Yeah,
why they made it like that. And then because they seen that this ain't going well for them, they made 7 the way it is. And I was okay with it.
yeah,
I like the conserving ammo and
yeah.
items.
But
Yeah, I like
I'm gonna sound like a broken record, but after that game, again, I was like, I'm gonna hang my hat on the franchise,
I get it though.
even though I liked it. Like I didn't like 6, I liked that, but I was just like, this isn't Resident Evil. Like I'm not fussed with this. And
No,
then
I get it.
that's when the remakes came out, and then like obviously we already went all over that, but 2 and 3, blah blah blah, both enjoyed, and then I honestly I didn't play 8 for years
Oh,
until
you did get to though,
I
right?
did. It was when
Good.
it was like a year and a half ago. We had another manager for like 2 months because for anyone watching, if you don't know, I work 7 nights a week, but there was a brief period where I went down to 4. So I looked through. I was like, finally, I got plenty of money, got plenty of time. Let's find a game. I spent fucking like a full day looking through the stores. Look, I couldn't believe it. I was just like, I got money, I got time, and there's like literally nothing I want to play. I'm like, this is all shit. Like I felt
There's a lot of good games, though, man. So many good games. You
oh man,
just have to give
I
them a
couldn't find
chance.
any other time. Like I couldn't find it. I was just like, this is fucking bullshit, man.
It's not though. That's different. That's like something about your time.
Yeah.
You don't feel like you have the time. You got to trick your brain and realize that there's plenty of time. You got to see
Well,
it that way.
I tried a few different ones, but I couldn't find any. And then anyway, I
Probably
circled
just pick the
around.
wrong ones.
I tried a few different ones, but anyway, we're getting off topic. I ended up going, you know what? I never played Resident Evil 8. Let's give it a try. Um, in the beginning, I didn't really think too much. I was just like, this is kind of fucking lame with the werewolves and that. But um, it did grow on me a little bit. Like when I got into the mansion and you're hanging out with
The big fat dude, right?
or the chick with the big tits, the tiggled biddies coming after you.
I
You know,
remember
like
her.
um, yeah, it was alright. And I didn't mind it. It was okay, but it
You
was
know, it was no Resident Evil 2 for sure, but
yeah,
I will say I liked it a lot. I didn't care for the tall vampire woman. I thought she kind of was lame. I
yeah.
think they just made her for uh, horny teenagers to play with or to fantasize about. I just
Hey,
didn't care
I'm
for
old
her.
enough to have a teenager, but I was just like, fucking this chick, man. I've never
The
been into
three,
tall chicks before, but fucking
I
nah. But
think the
all
three
jokes aside,
sisters.
yeah,
Yeah,
it was alright. Like, but then you got like that, with the dolls and stuff, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on here? And
yeah.
then you had another a mech battle or whatever the
Oh,
hell happened at the end. I was just like,
Yeah, the dolls and the where you're inside that, by the waterfall. I think it's a
hmm,
waterfall, and you go in a basement of a house next to the waterfall,
hmm,
and there's like a fake, like a made up baby creature that I remember that. I like the three vampire chicks. They were kind of cool
hmm,
characters. Although they're sentient, that means they still kind of unrealistic.
hmm. I
Yeah.
remember them being pretty hot as well. Actually, now I'm thinking
Oh,
about it.
yeah, they were.
Yeah, I remember them being pretty hot as well. I think overall, look, I didn't mind it. It was again, I know I'm repeating myself a lot. Uh, Good game. It was a good game. It was fine.
I liked it.
Was it a
I liked
was
it
it?
a lot
Yeah.
more than the other ones. Um, I still think seven's a little better, but I like the werewolf monsters.
Hmm.
Um, I think it was a decent game, but near the end, you could tell that they ran out of time to make the ending.
I think the
The
only
factory part sucked.
I think the only thing the werewolf thing. The only thing I liked about it is when they're in the long grass, and
Yeah,
that was kind of cool. But
that was cool.
um, it was fine. It was fine. Not really a Resident Evil game, but it was fine. It was
As much
nothing
as
was
we
about
like
it.
these games, I will say that the enemies should be strictly zombies or mutants. I
Hmm.
don't think all this like werewolves, vampires, and
Just do another franchise. It's just
yeah,
unneeded.
it,
It's
it's
unneeded to slap Resident Evil on there and drag it along,
yeah,
because now that franchise has way more mileage than it needed. Like instead of
yeah,
dragging all them, like you imagine if you did, if 4 to 6 wasn't Resident Evil, it was its own whatever it is, its own franchise, and the same for 7 and 8, and you just
yeah,
gave Resident Evil some time to breathe. I think you would have a
yeah.
lot more life in the franchise. Um, but like people could hate on me and just go, "Oh, you just
Who
like
cares,
dolls." Yeah,
man?
but I'm just saying, like, this is just
Works.
my opinion. If you love 6 as your favorite or whatever, like, Like,
They love six,
but
then
whatever.
there's something wrong with them, man.
More power to you. It's like the same as the Star Wars movies. I fucking hate the Disney Star Wars movies, but I'm not gonna
Yeah.
hate on anyone that enjoys them. Like, if you enjoy them, I'm happy for you. Um, it's kind of the same
I
for me
don't.
for these, but not quite as bad because the
Yeah.
Star Wars ones killed a whole franchise. Where I'm happy to still give Resident Evil a shot.
I don't hate people who suck too much to enjoy the old ones.
Yeah.
I just don't. I don't think I could be their friend. And it's like we have our minds are way too. And you know what's funny? I probably do have friends that hate Resident. There's a few, and I get along with them. I just don't.
It's hard to wrap
Just
your mind around it.
I don't
I
want
feel
them
it.
to ever speak to me about Resident Evil because I'll get annoyed by them if they try to say the old ones suck compared to the new
So,
ones. I'll be like, yeah,
what do you
you're
have you
crazy.
seen some trailers for this upcoming Resident Evil Requiem? So it's
Um,
back in the
I
Raccoon
have.
City somehow, even though it got nuked. Somehow they're
I think I've
still,
seen only one trailer.
yeah,
Yeah, I didn't really care for it. I think the trailer sucked.
yeah. I kind of agree. I
Really,
think it looks a little bit more like 8, but in Raccoon City.
yeah, I don't know what to expect from it, but the trailer was horrible. The game's probably going to be good. However,
Yeah,
the character they chose for us to be, she looks kind of lame. Like,
yeah.
you really think she? I get maybe if you are put in a position like
Yeah.
Claire on the
I
games,
I
she
seen
was. It was.
I seen some big monster thing sort of like stalking her around Raccoon City. Might have been in the police department. I can't really
Yeah,
remember, but
I
it
can't
kind of
remember
gave
much either. It's forgettable.
yeah, it kind of gave me that um uh bloody what do you call it again?
Mr. X or Nemesis.
No, no, no. Silent Hill. You know the cancelled game?
PT. I
Yeah,
haven't.
that one.
I know what it is. I never
It
got
it
to
kind of
try it out.
it kind of had a little bit of that sort of vibe. So it might be alright. I don't know.
Yeah.
Again, very different from the original Resident Evils, but it looks like it's pushing into the horror. As far as the PT, I had it on one of my consoles, but obviously it's long gone now.
I
But
will
yeah,
say. Well,
oh,
go ahead. Go ahead.
no, no, yeah, you go for it.
No, I already know it's not gonna beat two.
No,
There's no way. 8, 7, and 8 are great to me, but they're not gonna make me like. I only beat 8 once,
mm,
and I beat 7 twice.
mm,
That's how much I. Even though I like him, they're not must-play games to me.
mm. I
Um,
think the chances of it being better than 5 and 6 are pretty high.
yeah, they're way better than
Outside of
5,
that,
6.
who knows? I mean,
Oh no, I think I beat 7 more than twice. I think I beat it multiple times to get the speed run achievement. But 8, I only beat once.
mm,
Also,
yeah,
too,
see,
the thing I don't like from what I heard is it's gonna be. I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I heard it's gonna have an open world type environment, and I don't care for that.
mm,
I get if it's like in an enclosed environment, like a mansion or the RPD,
mm.
maybe, but they shouldn't. If it's like a big, like you're in all of Raccoon City, that seems like it's like
I
that
think
ain't survival horror.
I think I've sort of accepted the fact that it's not going to be Resident Evil as far as I classify Resident Evil,
Yeah.
but I think I'll give it a chance. If it's
Oh,
good,
I'm
it's
gonna give
good,
it a
man.
chance too.
If it's good, it's good. Hopefully, like I said, by then I'm going to have a little bit more free time, so I'll be able to actually give it a shot. So,
That is good, man.
um,
You'll have time to revisit some games too that you missed out on because there's a lot of
yeah,
good games that
we'll
come out.
we'll,
I
we'll
could recommend you some survival horror games
hook a
too.
brother up. I thought I'd mention as well, any sort of like games that are very Resident Evil esque that you really enjoy
Oh,
or
of course.
inspired. So you've got Dino Crisis. You've got Genma Onimusha. Onimusha's like for me, probably my favorite Resident Evil style game outside of Resident Evil. What ones do you like?
Yeah, it's funny you mentioned Onimusha because I beat
I beat it when I was younger. Well, a lot of times I played all of them, but a month ago, a little over a month ago, I revisited Onimusha One on the Steam remaster.
Great game.
Still holds up, great game. Right now, I've been actually playing a lot of survival horror games. That like right now, I've been playing this one. Let me see if I could think. Not right now. I would share my screen. Let me see if I could show you. Okay, won't take long. I'm gonna go to it right now. You'll see it pop up on my screen. In screenshots. I just been playing this one. Tell me if you see this. Where is it?
What?
Here. Tell me, you see it. Tell me if you see that.
Yeah, I see that. What is this?
See, it looks. It's called Heartworm.
Hmm.
I got to that part just today.
Yeah, that definitely reminds you of
Watch
Ari.
this.
Yeah.
Check this out. Look at that.
Yeah. Oh, come on. You
Yeah.
can see it. Yeah.
It's basically a ripoff almost. Well,
Mm.
you're not really just enough. There's a section where you're like in the mansion.
Mm.
Okay, let me get back to you. Yeah, no, I was just showing you. Yeah, I'm playing that, and I'm playing this one called Flesh Made Fear.
Mm.
That's another one. You should check it out. It just came out during Halloween,
Yeah.
and it's also like Resident Evil 2 because it takes place in a city.
Mm. Have you?
Of course, Silent Hill games are great. The Silent Hill games, but they're their own. We could
Yeah, they're kind
probably
of.
talk about that way more later.
Yeah, Silent Hills, like, obviously there's the crossovers in like same generation, both horror, but they are quite different. Not as different as the jump that they took in the franchise itself.
Yeah.
But yeah. But yeah, I mean, have you played any of the fan edits, the Mugens and stuff like that?
Not yet, but I do plan on doing it because I've seen a few.
Mm.
I would like to try, like you said, the Resident Evil 1.5,
Mm.
and they have whole like basically games of Resident Evil 2, like in the style of Resident Evil 2 that I've been wanting to try too. So I'll probably check that out. It's just like I said, I have so many games I'm playing on backlog.
Mm.
I just beat that one that I showed you right now today.
Mhm.
Earlier. I'm gonna replay it to get the other ending. So
I think we'll finish on this one. This is probably the most exciting part of the whole podcast. The movies.
Oh, movies. I've only seen the first two, and what I've seen, terrible.
You didn't love them,
CGI
George?
ones.
You didn't love them?
What's up?
You didn't love them, George?
Guess what? I went to what year was it? What year did the first one come out? Let me see.
It came out like 1998, something like that. 1998, 1999, you know.
It came out actually in 2002.
Oh, true. Well, there you go.
Guess what? I was there day one to see it in the movie theaters, and my mom took me because I wasn't old enough to go to the movie theater to see an R-rated movie.
Yeah.
I went there, and guess what? I was so disappointed. I did not like it. The effects were horrible. The zombies did not look right. They looked like shoddy.
Just people in makeup.
Yes. It didn't even look like they put any effort into it.
And where did this Alice come from? She was never mentioned once in the game. I was just like,
exactly.
Who the fuck is this? Like, bloody
why is she doing breakfast?
Keanu Reeves from Matrix, but it's like a chick. Just like I was just I was totally baffled. The first one, and like I know I'm repeating myself a lot. If it wasn't Resident Evil, or if the games never existed, I'd be like, it was a fine, passable movie. Fine for a watch, but something you'd probably forget about, you know?
I disagree.
Yeah?
If the name if the Resident Evil name wasn't on it,
everyone would clown on that movie. I guarantee you. I don't know
Yeah, I
about you, but
mean, I
I thought it sucked.
well,
I
look,
didn't like they had like techno music.
I gotta be very clear when I say this. When I say it's fine and passable, I'm giving it a 5 out of 10. This is in
Oh,
like,
so you think it's an average movie?
yeah,
An average.
like an average is, let's be honest, man. A lot of horror movies are not good. Um, it's average. Like it would have been fine. Like you could have watched it once and then never thought about it ever again. But if you're connecting it to probably the greatest game franchise of all time, at least to a point before it roared off the rails, like it's just, and then like you're just like, who's this Alice character? It just made no sense. Um,
I go ahead. Go ahead.
yeah, I was just gonna say like you could tell he wasn't a fan of the games.
Yeah, I
He
heard
looked,
that too. That
he just looked like he'd seen still shots, like, and
yep.
then shoehorned the Cerberus dog in there, and it's like, oh, it's got a zombie dog. I got to put that in
I
there,
think
and oh, it's got a mansion. Like, um,
you know what he should have done. The guy, the director, he should have sat down with the games and played all three of them.
mm,
The first three at least, just to get an idea of the
mm.
games,
Or
the
at least
movies.
have someone around on set.
I don't think. I think you, if you're gonna be the
I
director,
no, I agree,
to you
but
know,
that alone would have been something. Um,
then he shouldn't be a directing. I think he had no business directing such
yeah,
a movie to such a good series. Paul W. S. Anderson is his
mm,
name. I think.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't think it's right if you make a
He did
movie.
the Mortal Kombat movie, which was I really enjoyed. Um,
I didn't like it.
you didn't like the
I didn't
first
like
one? I didn't mind. I
no
thought it
because
was cool.
um back then it was the reason. Well, I'll just say because I know we're talking about Ari. I just didn't like that it was not gruesome
Mm.
and the characters did not match the look of the the way I pictured them to be, like a real life version. It
It's
just felt
crazy.
not. It
Like
wasn't dark.
it's
It was
so
too bright.
crazy that this movie of a game that comes out that's so disappointing, and then had like 7 sequels. Like
Yeah,
there must people
yeah.
must be watching this. Who the hell was watching these
That's
movies?
what I'm saying. I don't know who the hell watching him because
Uh,
when I watched it, I don't think it's a. The reason I think it's below average
yeah.
is like I said, you should have at least made the zombie makeup look
I,
passable.
I could say that though with most zombie movies, because the problem with zombie movies, even if the makeup is dead, uh, the
Yeah.
makeup is good. Sorry, they still look like look too alive. Like I've seen dead people before, and they look
Yeah.
almost like a mannequin. They don't look like a real person anymore. And you need to be
Mhm.
able to tap. You need to have that look to tap into that primal fear of something
Yeah.
that's dead that's coming after you, instead of something that just looks like you've made them look dead but looks totally alive. I think
And
that's
that's
what's
why I
missing.
think Resident Evil just is impossible to make into a movie or a show. Uh, there's
Yeah, look,
something about the zombies can't be portrayed by. They
just
should
normal
just say, you
people.
know
It's
what,
hard.
fuck it. Let's make a virus and make actors. Like we'll go dig up some bodies and make some actors,
Hmm.
real zombies. And
I think I
but
think the best attempt was The Walking Dead. Like that show went fucking weird, but you just look at the early seasons, the zombies. That was probably the best
he
portrayal,
said, yeah.
looking
I will
wise, of
say
the
this.
zombies. I'm not saying that's the best zombie thing ever made, but I'm saying looking wise on camera, early Walking Dead. That's
Yeah.
probably the best.
The one thing I don't like that Resident Evil 2 and 3 remake borrowed from Walking Dead is the way the zombies sound. I thought the shrieking is lame.
Hmm.
I'm okay if they do it occasionally, but that's
Hmm.
the only sound effect they make. I
Yeah, fair
wasn't
enough.
a fan of that.
Yeah, I'm
Um,
just visually, that's probably the most appealing. Um, is there anything you want to add on to this before we wrap it up?
well, I got just a few more things to say
Yeah,
about
yeah.
the movies. I only seen the first two. Like I said, I didn't like the makeup on the dogs either. Look, oh yeah, and okay, you know how the games they have this unnerving atmosphere.
Hmm.
brooding atmosphere.
Mm.
The movies, none of the movies had that atmosphere.
No.
So what was the point in making the movie if you're not going to capture that atmosphere, that scary atmosphere?
I think at the end of the day, they must have made money. Otherwise, they wouldn't have made so many of them. I don't understand how. Because
I think it's just the
I don't
people
think I've
that.
ever. Have you ever met anyone that said, "Oh man, them
Yes,
Resident
I
Evil
have.
movies"? Oh, you
Guess
have
who?
really. This
Yeah,
person exists. I've never
you
met
want to
one.
know?
Please, yeah, elaborate.
My brother
Oh, true.
who can't play the games, he sucks at them, and
Yeah.
my two sisters that used to talk shit when I was younger, saying that those games are gonna make you a killer. Like playing violent video games makes kids killers. And I'm not. Obviously, I'm not. But
Mm.
they used to talk shit about it, and now they're watching the shitty movies.
Well, there you
And
go.
yeah,
It's
they're the
just
ones that
people with
buy
bad
into it.
taste.
Yeah, they have a low. They're gullible.
Mm,
They don't really have a taste. It's
yeah,
just it's a mass marketed, popular, mainstream
yeah.
summer movie, I guess. Oh yeah, one more thing: the nemesis on the second movie looked horrible, and they made him the like a related, like the
Mm,
husband, I think of
yeah,
what's Alice. That was stupid.
yeah.
That's when I like. Yeah, these movies are they're the story doesn't connect to the games at all,
At
so I
all.
don't care for them.
No, either do
They're
I.
one out of one,
I,
one out of 10 for me. One
I
out
just
of
thought
10 for me.
I
All of
had
them.
to I had to bring them up. I mean, and there's a
Yeah.
show as well, but I never even watched
Oh,
it
I
because
never watched it and I won't.
apparently it
They
was
made Albert Wesker black.
yeah,
That
apparently it was so
stupid.
bad. It was so bad.
Yeah, it didn't even
So
make
I
a
didn't.
second season, I think.
Yeah, I didn't even bother. Did you see the like dance with the chick and anyway? It doesn't. Forget that show.
Yes. I'm gonna
Forget
go
that.
look now, but
Forget that show.
terrible, man.
But yeah,
The CGI movies are good. The CGI movies, they're not
yes,
good, but
that's a good point. I
they're
almost
connected to the story of the
yes,
game, so I'm okay with it. But they're
100%.
still not. They're too cheesy
They
still.
are. But
There's a
if you're
lot
gonna
of
watch any movies
Matrix.
of Resident Evil movies, the CGI movies, just watch them.
Yeah,
They're like, they're kind of like if you took the original 3 Resident Evil games and mixed it with the fourth game
yeah,
vibe,
action.
yeah, the vibe
Yeah,
and action, and amalgamated it into a CGI movie. That's probably the best
exactly.
way that I could explain it. But
And
if you're
they
gonna watch a
aren't
movie,
scary.
watch them. No, they're not scared. But if you're gonna watch a movie, they're at least fun. The live
Yeah,
action, apparently they're rebooting the live action though.
they
Did you
need to
know
give
this?
up on that.
Yeah, no,
They're
they're
gonna make it
rebooting it.
now with the. If they reboot it,
They're going
it's
to,
gonna be
and
shit again, man.
apparently, the director he doesn't want to copy the games. He wants to go on his own sort. And I was just like, didn't we just fucking get that with 7
They
other
proved it,
movies? Why don't
and
actually you be unique and actually copy the games? The games
and
have
you know
everything
what?
there. This is why, like,
Exactly.
this is
The
why, like,
blueprint's already laid
the
on the table.
blueprints there, and this is why, um, Game of Thrones, right? This is why Game of Thrones and stuff is so good because they just took what the blueprint that is already there, that's already well made and has fans, and then just copied it across.
Yeah,
Like I
just
know it's
copy the shit,
just
man.
copy it, bro. I know it's a game,
Well,
but you can copy that and make it work.
can I say one more thing? And also too, we're living in woke times.
Mm.
Not as bad as it was a few. Do you notice how they're forcing uh, race changes on the characters? Like
Mm.
that's just obviously they're trying to appeal to the woke
If
crowd.
if if I
Keep it the
have
same.
if I see any like whenever I see any of that, like when they race change people and you know exactly why they do it, I just check out and don't watch it. I don't even
Yeah,
at this point, like, because so many franchises have been destroyed. I don't even get mad anymore. I just go, yeah, okay,
I don't.
one,
I don't either.
one,
Like, okay, I'm not gonna
yeah,
watch
yeah,
anyway.
exactly. It's
I'll just
just like,
stick to the games.
yeah, I just like, oh, okay, cool, I won't watch it, and I don't even
We're
get
not
upset
missing
about it anymore.
shit.
Yeah, save my money.
I haven't
This
watched
is why,
any of the
this
Resident
is why
movies.
companies like Disney are just burning through money, but. So I just laugh. The worse it is, the better because there's more money
It.
you're going to lose and the more I can laugh about it. And this is
You know
another
what?
thing. Hollywood's going to be taken over by bloody AI videos anyway. Like, you
Yeah.
look at the stuff people make with AI, this is the beginning of it. You give it, you just imagine what people will be able to do a decade from now. A decade from now, kids will
Yeah.
be making their own movies, bringing in Bruce Lee, bringing in Batman, doing whatever. Instead of playing with toys, they'd be making their own movies on their own laptops. Hollywood is dead, and they've only sped up their own demise. So you get what you sow, as far as I'm concerned, or reap what you
Hollywood should
sow.
hire. They should hire me and you to make the movies. It would be fine with us in charge.
Yeah,
That's
well,
all they need.
at least it'd be closer to in the spirit. I don't know if I could
Yeah.
direct a movie, but I could be there as someone to like a counsel.
Yes, yes, and also to tell them what characters,
Yeah.
what actors would fit the characters more.
When they come over. So I know Alice was never in the original games, but what do you think of this idea? I go, well, do you want to make money? Well, I guess I'm kind of wrong because, hey, it actually did make money. But you know what I mean. You want to make more money? But yeah, all right. Well, I appreciate you taking the time, George. I know we've been
Hey, no
planning
problem,
to do
man.
this one for a while. And yeah, I think it was a good chat. You know, pay a bit of homage to, you know, what I would call probably the greatest gaming franchise of all time.
Yep.
I've always said like Resident Evil is number one for me, and then Mortal Kombat. I mean, the new Mortal Kombat's a lot. I would say the new ones are worse than a lot of these bad Resident Evil games, as far as I'm concerned. But when I think of Mortal Kombat, I think of you know, the original games going up to like the end of the 3D era. Without going into this, because we're not talking about that franchise. But these franchises, I hold a lot of reverence for. George and I have shot the shit over Resident Evil for a lot of time over the years, and maybe mocked other people that we thought had bad takes. I mean, like
We've
I
been a
said,
fan since day one.
since
Day
day one.
one. Day one fan. So
So you
I
know,
was
like
there I played the original in the first month of it coming out. So
I was
that's, I
probably
think,
a
pretty
little
decent.
bit more behind, but you know, we're
Yeah.
still talking 90s. You know, like when I played the first one, but because it wasn't my PlayStation, like I said. So
Yeah. Same
like
here. Same here.
the second one is the one where it really kicked it off for me. So
Me too.
greatest game of all time. My great host over here, greatest host of all time, George. I appreciate you taking the time. And
No problem, man. I am very grateful to be here.
no
And
worries.
we got to do it again soon.
Sounds
One
good.
day
Well,
soon.
yeah, we'll
Talk more about games.
yeah. I got some ideas that I'll float by you, but we'll wrap this episode up now. So for all the lads who've stuck through and watched the full episode, we appreciate you taking the time. If any of yous have any opinions, whether agree or disagree, drop a comment. You know, like, subscribe, dislike, do whatever you like to do. But for the lads, we'll catch you next time.